And good evening, hockey fans, and what is going on? My name is Neil Villapiano, and I'm the host of the Devil's State of Mind podcast here on the Hockey Podcast Network, which covers the New Jersey Devils. And welcome to a much anticipated live watch along of tonight's game between the New York Rangers and the Ottawa Senators. But obviously tonight, folks, that is not the big story. The big story tonight is the debut of Patrick Kane as a New York Ranger. As just 2 days ago, he was officially dealt to the Blue Shirts from the Blackhawks for very little to nothing, quite frankly. And also tonight is the debut of Jacob Chychrun, who was traded yesterday from the Arizona Coyotes to the Ottawa Senators. So we have a lot that's going on here in this one, but the big story is obviously Showtime himself making his debut on Broadway playing for the New York Rangers. But before we get this one underway, just want to say a big thank you and shout out to our sponsors at DraftKings Sportsbook for sponsoring this live watch along and everything we do here at the Hockey Podcast Network. Don't forget, guys, to sign up for DraftKings right now using our promo code THPN to get in on all the great opportunities to cash in on huge money prizes like tonight's game. And this is obviously one that a lot of people have been waiting for, especially Rangers fans, and we will see how it goes tonight. Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to also get involved in the comment section in the live chat, make sure you subscribe to the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel right here, THPN. And if you are new to the channel, don't forget to let me know, and I will give you a special shout out. Don't forget to also leave a like on the stream and punch the notification bell so you don't miss any new live watch-alongs that we do right here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. Also, guys, just before this game gets underway, don't forget to leave a score prediction in the live chat as well. We already got 3. My good buddy Jeff Nelson going with a 6-2 win for the New York Rangers tonight. Sean Butcher going 5-2 Rangers. And Andrew B with a pretty spicy, pretty exciting, I would probably say, prediction. He's going 6-5 Rangers in overtime. So far, everybody feeling pretty confident, more or less, that the New York Rangers are going to get a win tonight. And we will see if Patrick Kane, in his debut, will get himself a goal and get his first as a New York Ranger. He is going to be on the second line, paired with his old buddy from Chicago and Artemi Panarin. That comes as no surprise. Jacob Chychrun, who I mentioned before, is making his debut for the Ottawa Senators. He'll be paired on the second pairing with Sanderson. So obviously we'll have some new team debuts. Also, former Ranger and current Ottawa Senator Derek Brassard is playing in his 1,000th career game tonight. So a lot of different things going on in this one. So this should be a very fun and exciting game that we have going on here tonight. Danelle Weaver, what's going on, man? Good to see you. What up, Neil? Long time no see. How you been? Yeah, it's been a couple months, obviously, since the last time I did a live watch along. I was pretty active a lot last year. Not as much this year, with a lot of stuff going really well with the Devil's State of Mind podcast and things like that. Haven't had a chance to really sit down and do one of these live watch-alongs, but obviously this is a big one tonight. And when they pull out when you have a big game like this, you got to pull out the big guns like myself, not to toot my own horn or anything like that. But I'm doing well, and I'm looking forward to doing this game tonight. Danelle says, we all miss you, my man. I've missed you guys as well. And like I said, I thank everybody for hanging out with us tonight already. And I'm looking forward to interacting with all of you as the night goes along. Again, Danelle and everybody else, don't forget to leave a score prediction before this game gets underway. It is about 7:05 p.m. Eastern. This game will get underway at 7:08 as my brother just walked in the room, as he normally does. But, this is going to be the big one, obviously, with Patrick Kane making his debut as a New York Ranger. And, the Rangers, now you look at it, it's cup or bust. I think that really is the best way to look at it. When you think about just, what the expectations are, what the Rangers basically didn't give up to get a star player still in Patrick Kane. And you look at that top six with obviously Mika Zibanejad, Chris Kreider, you got Artemi Panarin, you got now Patrick Kane, you have all these guys. You have a really solid back end. You have one of the top goalies in Igor Shesterkin. I mean, this is a team that is cup or bust, quite frankly. This team, they can't just get into playoffs and try to make another deep run like they did last year. No, they have to find a way to not only get to the Stanley Cup Finals, but ultimately win it. And I think anything other than that is going to be considered a failure. So that's the way that I'm sure a lot of Rangers fans and also probably a lot of hockey fans in general are going to be looking at when it comes to expectations. Hey, between the Rangers and Blackhawks, who do you think won the trade? I think hands down, it's definitely the New York Rangers because, again, Patrick Kane had a no-trade clause. And he told the Blackhawks, trade me to the Rangers and nobody else. I'm not playing for you guys the rest of the year. So the Blackhawks kind of had their feet put to the fire and were basically forced to make a deal that, honestly, they weren't really they weren't probably really thrilled with and certainly didn't get the value that Patrick Kane has. Even at his age, he has been playing unbelievable these last couple of games prior to him being traded to the Rangers. So he obviously is going to be looking to try to continue that here tonight. But to answer your question, Danelle, definitely the New York Rangers won this deal in pretty much a landslide. I will say that the East is stacked. The West looks weak. Don't you agree? I certainly agree. I mean, you talk about the beasts of the East, the Bruins, the Hurricanes, the New Jersey Devils, the New York Rangers, all these different teams. We're just stacking them up. Everybody in the East is trying to just get big, get more skilled, get more talented. It's going to be tremendous, honestly, just how the Eastern Conference playoffs is going to go once we get underway with it. Western Conference definitely got to bulk their way up a little bit. I think the top 6 or 7 teams in the NHL are all Eastern Conference teams. So, yeah, the East is definitely stacked. Devils versus Sharks, the Timo Meier trade. You got to say, Timo Meier and the New Jersey Devils won that trade because the New Jersey Devils are getting a top 6 scoring winger that could be paired with Jack Hughes or Nico Hischier. And certainly is going to provide even more scoring to an already very talented offense that has scored 14 goals in the last 2 games combined. Cam Talbot in net, former New York Ranger Cam Talbot in net for the Senators. And then you have Yaroslav Halak in net for the New York Rangers. Don't know why I was blanking on that one, but here we go as the second line is on. Patrick Kane on the ice, and we are underway here in this one between the Senators and the New York Rangers. Again, the debut of Patrick Kane as a New York Ranger. So this is definitely going to be this is a much anticipated game like I mentioned before. And again, Kane is on the line with Artemi Panarin also and Vincent Trocheck. But to quickly wrap up the question you had before, Danelle, about who won the Devils and Sharks trade, that obviously the Devils got Timo Meier. I think hands down, again, you got to go with the New Jersey Devils. They have now acquired a guy that not only do they feel is going to help them this season and make a long run in the playoffs, but for the long term, especially once they get him signed to a long-term deal. He does have a qualifying offer of $10 million next season, but I don't think that the Devils are going to pay that, or quite frankly, anybody will. So at the end of the day, I think the Devils are going to end up getting a long-term deal signed with him probably at the end of this season. Senators come in with a one-time shot by number 19. I believe that is Brassard, and that shot just went wide of Halak. So right away, the Senators trying to get something going here as we're just about a minute into this contest. Danelle says, I will tell you I was happy that the Chiefs beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're like a Giants fan, you're just happy that, or basically if you're an NFC East fan in the NFL, you're definitely happy that the Eagles did not win another Super Bowl. That was definitely a very, very fun Super Bowl. Probably one of the most entertaining ones that we've seen in Super Bowl history, and certainly in recent memory. But it was it was a really good game overall. Just couldn't complain except that one penalty on James Bradbury at the end. But other than that, just a really good game. Let's go on, Angus. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. As a sharp angle shot there from the Senators just goes wide. Follow-up try by the defenseman there gets blocked in front. Senators putting on some good pressure in the offensive zone. Angus says, hello, Neil. What a pleasant surprise. I hope that you are well. I doubt that you have converted to a Rangers fan. No, I'm not a Rangers fan at all. obviously, I prefer to see the Senators win this game in regulation. I would love to see the Rangers lose this one. Currently, they are 6 points behind the New Jersey Devils for second place in the Metro. So ideally, this would be kind of a nice situation if the Rangers don't get any points tonight. But yeah, man, I'm definitely happy to be back doing a live watch along and, happy to be interacting with all of you lovely people here tonight. Andrew says he's in Florida. He's in Naples, Florida with his parents for 3 months. Now we have 2 months, and he's going to see the Bee Gees makeup band in Fort Myers. So we're heading there. That's awesome, Andrew. Enjoy yourself, man. What's going on, RJ? RJ's definitely a big Rangers fan. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Thank you all again for hanging out with us here as we're just about 3 minutes into this one. Senators versus Rangers. Again, the debut of Patrick Kane as a New York Ranger. Now, the Rangers have an opportunity here. Vincent Trocheck tried to feed it over to Patrick Kane. It's taken away by Jacob Chychrun, the newest Ottawa Senator who was traded for 2 conditional picks from Arizona. So the Senators get themselves a much-needed left-shooting defenseman, and I'm sure they're thrilled to have him. And so, this is definitely some pretty good moves, I'd say, from Ottawa when you look at, getting Claude Giroux, Alex DeBrincat. They have Tkachuk. Now they got Chychrun. They're building something pretty special there, and obviously Brady Tkachuk as well. So I think overall they're building a pretty good team that in the very near future is going to be super competitive in the already very, very stacked Eastern Conference. Danelle says, Neil, let me ask you, how do you feel about the Nets now of the trades they just did? You're just asking. Quite frankly, I don't really care about the NBA or basketball right now because I think it's a joke. As far as the trades are concerned, it is what it is. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are not leaders. They are not people to really be trusted in terms of leading a team. Quite frankly, to be trusted with much of anything, probably more talking about Kyrie in that sense. But yeah, no, it's whatever, man. It happened. Kyrie and KD didn't do much for the Nets organization anyway. So, it's whatever. So now you got to move forward. Patrick Kane play is tonight. Yes, he is. Yes, he is, RJ. Patrick Kane making his Rangers debut. And so I'm sure Rangers fans are excited. Shots are 3-0 in favor of the Blue Shirts so far in this one. Joe says, for some reason, this stream doesn't come up on NHL live search. I think that's because it's just on YouTube, Joe. So, but, that's basically what we're at. So I'm going to do my best to give you guys play-by-play, throughout this game. Is now the Senators have it at center ice, and here comes 77. He's basically one-on-one with a backhand try, and that one is stick to side by Halak. So the Senators finally get their first shot on goal. Now the Rangers look to come the other way. It's Artemi Panarin. Tried to feed it over to his teammate, taken away by 47 of Ottawa. Gets around Panarin, takes a sharp angle shot, and that one is stopped and covered by Halak. And then some pushing and shoving by the two teams after the whistle here with 14:40 to go here in the opening period. Doesn't look weird. Kane in the Rangers jersey played most of his career with the Blackhawks. Yeah, it's definitely going to get used. We're all going to have to get used to seeing Patrick Kane wearing his trademark 88, but instead in the red, white, and blue. But I'm sure we'll get used to it. Bad news, a couple weeks ago, I asked the post office about sending my hard apple cider. I was told that I had to obtain a license to mail it. Interesting. I mean, that's... I didn't know you had to get a license for that, but I guess that kind of makes sense considering it's alcohol. So what's going on, Dale? Dale is actually chiming in from Twitch because we're live on Twitch as well. He says, let's go, Patty Kane. He says, Rangers are coolest team in the league. I think for the casual hockey fan, that could probably be somewhat true considering all the star power they have on the team. The drive there by the Rangers is blocked in front. Rangers trying to keep the puck in. Jimmy Vesey now with it. Gets it over to Tyler Mott. And now Jacob Trouba tries to keep it in. Both teams kind of whacking at it against the boards here. Kind of puck bouncing up and down. Nobody can get control. Finally, Trouba gets it. And we got a Senator player down on his knees. And it's going to be a penalty here against the Rangers. As it's Derek Brassard, who again is skating in his 1,000th career game. Also is a former Ranger. as Senators will get the first crack on the power play here exactly 6 minutes into the contest. And RJ letting us know that this game is on MSG if you're in the New York, New Jersey area. It's also on TSN up in Canada. Let's go on Dan saying hi from Facebook. Good to see you, Dan. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for hanging out with us. Jonathan Quick, Danelle's talking about Jonathan Quick, who was actually traded from LA in a somewhat shocking move to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now is heading his way to Vegas to join the Golden Knights. Dan says, who do I think is going to win? I'm going to go with the New York Rangers in this one because they're at home. They got the Patrick Kane aspect into it all, and I think they're going to find a way to get a win in this one. But let's see what the Senators can do on their first power play of the night. Dan says, I'm surprised Ottawa got Chikrin in for so cheap. I tried an NHL video game, and they insulted me and hung up on the phone. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, you can't make those type of trades on a video game. Just that shows you how ridiculous sometimes these trades really are. So yeah, it's really funny how it took this long to finally get a Jacob Chikrin trade. And this is how, and look how little they got us. Now a breakaway chance here for Chris Kreider. Moving on in with a backhand, and he scores! It's Chris Kreider, shorthanded, going top shelf, beating Cam Talbot. And just 30 seconds into the Senators' power play, it's the Blue Shirts who score, and it's 1-0 Rangers. So just some bad puck handling by the Senators right up against the boards near the Rangers bench. And I believe it's Tomas Chabot who makes the turnover, long past the Kreider, and just the smooth skating that he brings. He goes top shelf, living the puck backhanded, and he gets the Rangers on the board first. So not the start you want to have on the power play if you're the Senators giving up that shorty. That is tough. That is tough. 1-1 between the Kraken and the Red Wings early in that one. Red Wings trading Tyler Bertuzzi today to Boston. I mean, Boston, man, they just get stacked. Neil, do you think the Maple Leafs are like the Dallas Cowboys? You've asked me this before, Danelle, and my answer is still the same. Yes. From a fan base perspective and just how they act, I would say so. We'll see you later, Andrew. Devils are back on the ice in Vegas tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern. I will obviously be covering that game for Devil's State of Mind. And that could be the first game for newly acquired Timo Meier for the New Jersey Devils. So we will see what happens with that. Blues are on a 7-game losing streak. I have given up on them this year. Maybe they can sucker somebody into obtaining Jordan Bennington. I doubt that, Angus, but we'll see. We still have until 3 p.m. tomorrow for the trade deadline, so we'll keep our eye on it. By the way, if there is a trade that I just don't see that it happens during this game, please let me know in the chat. And I mean, like, legitimately tell me. Like, don't make one up and try to get me to bait, please. But yeah, Angus, things are not doing so well in the gateway to the West. RJ says 1-0 Rangers. Again, a shorthanded goal from Chris Kreider. As now here comes Tim Stützle. He holds, gives it off to Chabot. Chabot takes a wrist shot. That one is stopped by Halak, and he dives and covers. Great save there by Yaroslav Halak, and we get a stoppage of play. 11:53 to go in the first. The Rangers on the board early thanks to a shorthanded goal from Chris Kreider. Under all the star power, there is still Chris Kreider with 52 goals last season. Yeah, he had a monster year last year, and he's having a pretty good year this year. And I still think the most underrated player on the Rangers is Mika Zibanejad. I don't feel like he gets talked about enough. That dude, I think, is honestly the best player overall on this Rangers team, and a guy who steps up tremendously, especially last year in the playoffs. Let's go on. My friend Eric is in Jets. Thoughts on scooped bagels? I literally have no idea what a scoop bagel is. Now you got me curious. What the heck is a scoop bagel? I feel like I'm getting it's actually a real thing. A scoop bagel is a bagel that has most of the bread on the inside removed. That is absolutely horrible. To answer your question, quite frankly, Erica, that is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. What's the point of scooping out 90% of the bagel and eating just that? Like, I don't get why you would. What is the point? Is that a New York thing? Is that why you asked? Like, where does this get? Oh, it does. Yeah, it comes from New York. Yeah, go figure. Yeah, go figure New York would do some dumb crap like that. Let's go on Epic Plays. Good to see you, my friend. Awesome, man, that you said you made a better channel. Very cool. Living with _H. Very cool. I've been doing very well, thank you. Like I said, just excited to finally be back doing another live watch along. I'm definitely going to try to do more as the season goes along, especially in the playoffs. I want to do a lot of them like I did last year, and I really do enjoy doing these, and I'm very happy about it. Because we're back to the action here again, 11:53 to go in the first. You got the Rangers up 1-0 thanks to a shorthanded goal from Chris Kreider. Again, this game, biggest news story, the debut of Patrick Kane as a New York Ranger. And Madison Square Garden's going to be rocking and rolling if Patrick Kane scores tonight. Scoop bagel sounds like a misshaped bagel chip. That's the way I look at it. Like when I just saw an image on Google, I'm like, that's literally, I agree with you, Angus. Like that's exactly what I think it looks like. Dale says, you have a good voice for play-by-play. Thanks for this. I cannot watch the actual game, so this is amazing. Dale, no worries, man. That is what I'm here for, to give you guys play-by-play as much as I can, because I would love to be able to show you the game, but, legally I can't. As now Giroux gets knocked down, he takes a backhand shot on his knees, and that one goes wide. Feet in front there, and a great glove save by Halak as he robs Tim Stützle. That puck was right there in the slot, just begging to be scored, and Yaroslav Halak shuts the door, and he even shook his head after that save. Just moments ago, Claude Giroux got knocked down, no penalty, and then a good job by Brady Tkachuk getting it back to Giroux, who fed it in front to Stützle. But Yaroslav Halak just making a great glove save, a shooter's worst nightmare when the goaltender flashes a leather. Beautiful save from number 41, who's actually been having a pretty solid season for the Rangers as their backup to Shesterkin. Let's go on Keenan. Thank you so much for subscribing and leaving a comment. Who would Boston face in the first round? One of the wild card teams, so maybe like, potentially Buffalo or the Islanders or the Capitals or somebody like that. Most likely that would be who would they play. They'd face the 8th seed? So like the second wild card team, I believe that's who they would face. Yeah, man, Boston, they get Tyler Bertuzzi today, and then they finally get David Pastrnak signed. I feel like nobody's talking about that much today. Maybe it's just because of all the hype around Patrick Kane, playing here in his first game. As a one-time shot from Panarin is stopped and covered by Cam Talbot. As if Panarin had scored there, Patrick Kane would have gotten his first point, which would have been an assist as a New York Ranger. But David Pastrnak getting that $90+ million extension, so he's getting about $11.75 a year, which is still pretty much high market value, but I feel like it's somewhat of a steal for Boston. So the Bruins locked down Pasta for the next 8 years, so good on them. Thoughts on Hailey Bieber? I mean, she's I don't really have an opinion, I guess I'd say, as now the Senators getting back into the zone, but yeah, I don't really have an opinion. I know I've been hearing like something along the lines of like her and Justin have been in the news of late. I think it's also Justin Bieber's birthday today. I think I could be wrong. But other than that, I really don't have an opinion, quite frankly, on that person at all. It would be cool if the NHL was on Apple TV like the new MLS channel. I know Major League Soccer is going to be completely on Apple TV, so that'd be kind of interesting. I kind of like what the NHL has right now. Obviously, things with like Bally Sports is kind of going under. As a shot there from Lafreniere on a rebound gets blocked aside by Cam Talbot. So the Rangers continue to put on good pressure here as we're just about halfway through the first, where the Rangers still up 1-0. As a shot there from Ottawa stopped, and then a diving cover again by Halak. So Halak has been very, very busy over the last couple of minutes as he's made his second diving save there. So we got 9:41 to go in the opening period. But, look, streaming channels, man, they're all the rage now, right? I mean, that's just everything out there. I know that the Madison Square Garden just created MSG Plus, which is like $30 a month, which is an absolute joke, unless you have a cable provider. Because if you have a cable provider that already has MSG, then it's free. I still think it's a joke. I still think $30 a month, ridiculous. But Angus, how is Apple TV for Major League Soccer so far? Let me know. Pasternak, well-deserved. I would have given him 15 mil, 8 years. I would have given him a lot of money like that. But again, it's the Boston Bruins discount, as they say. Rangers Nation, what's going on, man? Thank you for hanging out with us. I wish I had MSG. Hopefully there's some way that you can watch the game, like NHL 66, or if you, by some chance, have MSG Plus, you can watch the game. Erica says, hashtag Team Selena. Yeah, well, I mean, Selena Gomez is one of my celebrity crushes, so yeah, I'm definitely on Team Selena. What is the last movie you watched and did you like it? What is the last movie I watched? That's a really good question. Because I'm not really a movie guy. I'm more of like a documentary guy. The last movie I watched was I guess you'd call it a horror movie called Bones and All. Look it up. It's a strange movie. It lingers on. Like, you get the point of it, but it just lingers on, so it was okay. It was just okay, Dale, to be honest with you. Halak has legit been playing better than Igor. That's definitely a concern that your backup, your very, very old, mind you, backup goaltender has been playing better than Shesterkin. Vladimir Tarasenko, the other big acquisition for the Rangers, so far through 10 games with the Blue Shirts, 3 goals, 4 assists, a plus-minus rating of +2. He has definitely fit in very well. He also has 9 goals, 3 assists for 12 points in his career in 14 games against the Ottawa Senators. So another big acquisition. So for them to get both Tarasenko and Patrick Kane, the Rangers, for not as much as you thought that they would have to give up, is a job well done by Chris Drury and just taking advantage of some teams just trying to move assets. Man says, what do you think about Kane? I mean, Kane's going to go down as one of the greatest, if not the greatest American player of all time. I just think that his move to the Rangers and how he demanded it is similar in a way to like Kevin Durant going to the Golden State Warriors, like one of the weakest moves, because like he basically bitched his way to the Blue Shirts. The shot there from Stützle gets robbed again by the glove of Yaroslav Halak. This time Stützle all alone on the right side, just one-on-one with Halak, and Halak shuts the door again. Tim Stützle is going to have nightmares tonight. The second time tonight he has been denied of a goal. Unbelievable. And actually, no, it wasn't a glove save. It was stopped by the left arm of Halak, I think. We'll see a slow motion here. Yeah, it was stopped by the arm, so not a glove save, but still got denied again. But, yeah, man, Patrick Kane, not thrilled with the way he got to the Rangers and how he basically bitched his way, but it is what it is. 2-1 Kraken against the Red Wings still in the first. Lightning up 1-0 against Pittsburgh. So there's that. A lot of local question. Do you think the Rangers do any more moves? Devils do any more moves or Islanders? I don't think the Devils or Rangers at this point are going to make any more moves. Maybe the Islanders. Could be wrong. But it's very possible, I think, also that none of the New York, New Jersey teams make another move at the trade deadline. Thoughts on Michkov? People say he's going fourth because KHL contract, even though he should be second. As now the Rangers trying to come in. Tyler Mott can't get a handle on it. Rangers trying to keep the puck in. They cannot. But, yeah, I mean, Michkov was considered to be the second overall pick for the last 2 years, and now all of a sudden, because of his contract, things have kind of gone down. I mean, if he's falling to like 5, 6, 7, that's going to be a freaking steal for whoever gets him. As that shot there is deflected away. Is now Patrick Kane with a turnaround pass that just missed Panarin. Back over to Kane with the puck now. Kane tries to make a pass, and it's taken away by Ottawa, and they'll come the other way. 21 with the puck up the left side. He waits, tries to feed it in front there, and that one is stopped and covered by Halak. But I still think Michkov goes like top 3, probably top 2. Erica says Stützle stopped shooting it in his glove. So, yeah, I mean, it just, Stützle definitely going to have nightmares tonight. You know, twice now he's been robbed. RJ again giving us 11.25 was the contract for, per year for David Pastrnak. That was points. I knew there was a 5 in there, but it's not 0.25, not 0.75. Thoughts on denim jackets? I don't personally wear them, but I think they're cool. I think they're definitely a cool style, and I think you can make them cool, especially if you can get like patches sewn on them and stuff. I think it's really cool. Apple TV with Major League Soccer is impressive. I pay $99 a year for all their games, other programming too. That's pretty good, less than $100. Except for their continuous live coverage of all teams, it's well done. Yeah, I think like correct me if I'm wrong, I think all of the games for Major League Soccer are all on Apple TV. I think that's how they're doing it this year and moving forward. Denim Jackets, Angus approves. I didn't know this, but watch the hockey guy on YouTube. Definitely know him. Saying Stephen A. Smith said the NHL is not one of the four major sports. I think was on today's episode. Yeah, I did hear that today. I've been seeing it trend a lot. That Stephen A. and Molly Caram of First Take expressed that they do not believe that hockey is a sport and not one of the major sports. Molly Caram asked Michael Kay a simple question: who's the next New York team to win a championship? And Michael Kay, after a couple seconds, said the New York Rangers, and Stephen A. and Molly completely dismissed them, and that shows you how much ESPN and First Take in particular doesn't really care about hockey. I don't think Stephen A. and Molly are really considered to be legitimate analysts anyway. I think they're both kind of a joke at what they do. I think First Take is a joke in general, so that's my opinion. As we get a penalty here as Christian Watson just absolutely just ran over Tyler Mott, elbow first right into the boards. Watson goes to the box. Tyler Mott goes to the dressing room. I don't know what Watson was thinking there. That's really a stupid. I really think that was a stupid call, quite frankly, as now the refs are getting together with 7:11 to go. As actually they made a call here. Whoa! 5-minute penalty to Christian Watson. So the Rangers for the next 5 minutes are going to be on a continuous power play, already up 1-0. So this is screaming that this could get ugly very quickly on the scoreboard. What are your thoughts on the NHL Mitchell and Ness jerseys, Neil? I did see them. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I know Adidas also shared some old retro jerseys from years ago as well. So I like that we're kind of bringing in all this. Mitchell and Ness, obviously very expensive because they're very old jerseys, but still pretty cool. Let's go on HBF. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for hanging out with us as always. Danelle says ESPN First Take only talks and cares about the NFL and NBA. Exactly. They don't really care about other sports. So that's why when they make fun of hockey, it's like, so what? Like, they don't know what they're talking about anyway, and they don't even do that good of a job, honestly, in my opinion, of talking about the NBA or NHL in terms of analysts. So now we're getting another call from the ref. Okay, so a 5-minute major, and for charging as well, as it looks like my TV went out, so that's unfortunate. This has unfortunately happened before. I can't quite explain to you why this happens. So yeah, a 5-minute major and a game misconduct to Christian Watson. So he is done for the night. So that is definitely a really quote unquote stupid, very, very stupid penalty that the Senators took. But while I get something really quickly here, I'm going to take a quick commercial break. So I do apologize for this delay here, but I will be right back. So give me 1 minute here. And we are back. So apologies for those technical difficulties, but we are back in order here. So we got about 4 minutes to go in the opening period. Rangers still on that 5-minute penalty given to Christian Watson. He also got a game misconduct, so he is done for the night. Rangers still up 1-0. A minute 40 to go on the power play. 3:50 to go in the first period. So what is Christian Watson doing? Definitely being an idiot, that's for sure, Dale. Angus says, in my opinion, ESPN is a joke. They try to be funny, but it is a major fail. The joke is on them. Yeah, I know, man. ESPN, they used to be called the worldwide leader in sports, and nowadays, I'm not so sure. Not so sure if you could say that with definitive certainties. Now, Tarasenko gets it over to Trouba. Now over to Capo. Kako drops it off to Trocheck. Now a drive from Trouba gets blocked in front. And now the Senators look to come the other way shorthanded. Here they come. It's Claude Giroux with the puck. He holds, takes a wrist shot, and that one gets blocked. 55 seconds to go on the power play here for the Rangers. 3 minutes exactly to go here in the first. Again, still 1-0 thanks to a shorthanded goal earlier in the period from Chris Kreider. As now Trouba with the puck. Drops it off, and here comes Patrick Kane up the left side. Kane drops it off to Kreider. Kreider now drops it back over to Panarin. Now gives it over to Fox. Now back to Panarin. Panarin feeds it over to Kane. Kane waits, gets it to Fox with a drive, and that one is stopped by Talbot. Pops up in the air. Rangers trying to get to it, and the Senators just get it out of the zone with 20 seconds to go in the power play. Rangers come right back in. Fox gets it over to Panarin. Panarin feeds it in front to Zibanejad, and that one gets stopped by Cam Talbot. Rangers still with it here. And now we're going to stop for a high stick. So it looks like the faceoff will come out of the zone here. So hell of a sequence there, but two really good saves from Cam Talbot, keeping the Rangers only up 1. Sean, my friend, what is going on, man? Great to see you. It's been a long time. Hope you're doing well, man. Nelson says, hey, I'll tell you when I see Ant-Man and the Wasp. On the last day of my vacation in February, I wore my Islanders reverse retro and matching beanie knit hat. Very cool, man. Very cool indeed. So that'll do it for the Rangers' 5-minute power play. So it comes up with no goals, and we're still at 1-0 Rangers here with just about 2 minutes to go in the first. So the Senators are able to kill off the 5-minute major against Watson, but they will be without him for the rest of the game. Shots are 12-7 right now in favor of the Blue Shirts. Lafreniere over to McCullough. Takes a shot, and that one gets redirected wide of the net. Rangers putting on some good pressure here. Braden Schneider gets it around the boards. Now Ottawa gets it. Tries to get it out, and they do. So now Jimmy Vesey will slow it down here as Schneider will wait for reinforcements here. Erica says, it seems like extended power plays are never as successful. I think the reason for that is because a lot of these players just get it in their head because they have so much time on the power play to kind of move around and do things that they're not as aggressive and maybe not as, just successful overall. So now 57 gets it top of the point. Center's wrapping it around here, gets it over to 19, gets the puck knocked off him. Now takes it away here. Rangers now with it as we have 1 minute to go here in the opening period of this one. Rangers still holding on to a 1-0 lead. Senators come back in. DeBrincat with some space. Waits, takes a wrist shot. That one is stopped by Halak. DeBrincat gets it back in the right corner. Gets it top of the point to Anderson. Now gets it over to his teammate. That one gets blocked. Then throws it in front there. Gets taken away by the Rangers' Artemi Panarin. And now slow it up. Panarin makes a long feed over to Kane. Now back to Panarin. Panarin tries to make a pass, gets it over to Kane, and he runs into his teammate. And that's actually going to be, is it going to be a penalty? Might actually be too many men on the ice. I think there might actually be a penalty here against the Rangers. Not really sure here, but we got 33.1 seconds to go in the first. Still 1-0 Rangers. And I don't know why they're going to commercial break with 30 seconds to go in the period. I do not see movies in theaters often, but I plan on seeing Cocaine Bear. Yeah, I know. I've heard that that's definitely a big one that a lot of people want to go see. So we'll see. We'll see how popular it actually is when it comes out. But so far, so good for the Rangers, man. They got the 1-goal lead. It was a shorthanded goal, and they've obviously dictated most of the play. Halak's been strong when he's needed to. Give credit to Cam Talbot, though, for Ottawa. He's made some really big saves after giving up that shorthanded goal. Rangers power play, I mean, man, that's got to be tough. You had a 5-minute power play in this period and did not score even just one goal. So that is definitely not great here, but so far, so good nonetheless for the Rangers. And then, Patrick Kane's had a couple of good plays so far. Definitely not as aggressive shooting the puck as I've seen before. I think he's still trying to get acclimated. He's definitely a big fan of feeding it over to his old teammate Artemi Panarin. That's what I'm seeing so far. But I will definitely say that this is one of the deepest teams I've seen with the Rangers, in terms of what they have. But the biggest question mark you got to have is simply this. What is their defense going to be like? Like, yeah, they have, guys like Adam Fox and Trouba and everything like that, but still, like, they're not the greatest defensive defenseman you'll ever see. And the forwards-wise, their defensive metrics are not great. So that's going to be a big question mark when they have games, especially in the playoffs, when their offense is not there. Is their defense going to hold? So I think that's definitely going to be something to keep an eye on as we progress here. Who are the only 3 players with 10-plus Rangers goals against the team that drafted them? I have no idea. So I think there was a penalty here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, too many men on the ice call against the Senators here with 33 seconds to go in the period. So the Rangers with their second power play officially of the night. So face-off won by the Rangers. Kane gets it over to Fox. Now back to Patrick Kane on the right face-off dot. Gets over to Fox. He takes a right shot, and that one gets deflected wide to the left side. 20 seconds to go in the period. Fox now with the puck. Gets it all the way over to Patrick Kane. Kane on the right side. Waits. Takes a right shot through traffic. That one gets blocked. And now the Senators clear. They might have a chance here on a 2-on-1 coming the other way. Short-handed. A backhand try. That one gets blocked in front. With 7 seconds to go in the period, Rangers get the puck here, but I don't think they're going to have enough time for another shot. They won't, and so that will do it for the first period of play. So the Rangers with the 1-0 lead after 20, thanks to a shorthanded goal from number 20, Chris Kreider. And we'll see what the Rangers can do with an abbreviated power play to start the second period. Shots 12-8 after the first period. So what do you guys think so far of this one? What are your thoughts again on Patrick Kane joining the Rangers and obviously Jacob Chychrun joining the Senators? And if you got any thoughts or comments or questions about what has happened in one of the craziest trade deadlines, which we're not even at the deadline yet, deadline day, just let me know in the chat below and we will discuss it. Some other scoreboard updates for you all. 3-1 Kraken over the Red Wings late in the first period. 1-0 Tampa, 1-0 Lightning over the Penguins late in the first. And then the Predators have a late lead in the first against the Florida Panthers. So those are some scores from around the league. So there you go. But before we continue on here into our intermission report, we're going to step aside for just a moment to get a word from our sponsors. And welcome everybody here to the first intermission report of our live watch along between the Senators and the Rangers. And after 20 minutes of play, the New York Rangers, thanks to a shorthanded goal from Chris Kreider, have the 1-0 lead. And again, this game is obviously very big because it is the debut of Patrick Kane as a New York Ranger. It's also the debut of Jacob Chychrun as an Ottawa Senator. So a lot of new faces in new places here as we are approaching the NHL trade deadline, which will be tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. Well, there we go. Sean says, despite my Preds legit having over half our roster from the AHL, we're still beating the Panthers, LOL. Yeah. I think it's fair to say from Nashville's perspective, it is the beginning of change for the Predators. Obviously, David Poile is finally stepping down from being the first and still right now only president in Predators history, but eventually will be taken over by Barry Trotz, who will become just the second president in Predators history. It's amazing to me that Poile had the job for as long as he did. Not saying he didn't do a good job. He did a very good job. I'm just surprised that he was there for that long. But we'll see how that. The Blues are painful. I cannot watch them anymore. Yeah, I will speak about, talking about pain, especially watching a team, is coming from somebody who's a New Jersey Devils fan and who covers the New Jersey Devils for a living. You look at the last couple of years, especially last year, and there were just so many times throughout the season where it was just so hard to watch my team play and just try to get through the season, man. I mean, it was just really, really hard. And in many ways, I know for myself that if I wasn't covering the team for a living, I wouldn't have watched as many of the games as I did last year. And, it's such a rewarding feeling when you get to the other side of that situation and you're in the situation that the Devils are in now, 40 wins on the season, 80 plus points, second, one of the top three teams in the NHL, second best in the Metro, have all these really talented players, Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier, Jesper Bratt, Timo Meier, Dougie Hamilton, Vitek Vanacek, all these guys. It's just so rewarding. So for any team, any fan base of a team that's going through those really tough times, you could always have things to kind of look back on. Like, Angus, you're a really good example. It wasn't that long ago, you guys won the franchise's first Stanley Cup. So you still have that. From that core, they were able to deliver a championship. And then you got, Sean, who's a Predators fan. The Predators, not terribly long, like only 6 years ago, went to the Stanley Cup Finals, have had a handful of great players and have one of the best fan bases and atmospheres in the NHL, no matter how good or bad the team is. And you have an ownership and a management group that is going to get that team in the right position. Poile did it for many years, and I firmly believe that Barry Trotz is going to do the same thing. And that's what I would say about any team's fan base, that we're all going to have to go through those really difficult periods. But it's going to be much more rewarding once you get to the other end of the rainbow, basically, and you experience that joy and excitement of watching your team be really good and have a ton of success. Danelle says the Adidas Team Classic jerseys is the Atlanta Flames, Colorado Rockies, Anaheim Mighty Ducks, New York Rangers, Toronto Maple Leafs, and the sixth team is supposed to be the Hartford Whalers. Yeah, that was the thing I was talking about earlier with you, Danelle. Yeah, the Adidas shared those. Not that expensive, actually. I think like less than $200, so that's pretty good. Definitely like that Colorado Rockies one. Obviously, being a Devils fan, you kind of have that little bit of heritage. Hartford Whalers one's pretty cool. The Rangers one, I think, is from the late 80s, early 90s. So kind of like what you saw them wear like when they won the Cup. Leafs is kind of cool. They brought back the classic Anaheim Mighty Ducks jersey, which is a top one. It's really cool. And the Atlanta Flames, the first professional hockey team in Atlanta. Not the last one, but certainly not one of the ones that really succeeded. One of the several that did not succeed in Atlanta. Angus said, I was spoiled because the Blues eternally went to the playoffs. I mean, that's what I'm saying also. Like, there are teams out there that will also just consistently make the playoffs, like Boston, prior to prior to like, I guess like the beginning of like 2013-14, the Devils were constantly making the playoffs. The Penguins for a long time, the Lightning, the Avalanche, all these teams, they've grown accustomed to their team at least just like getting in the playoffs every single time. So you have that success as well. And obviously the big part of it is winning a Stanley Cup and seeing your team win a championship. But again, you're also going to go through those periods where it's really, really tough, and your team's not doing well, and it's kind of hard to go through. But again, eventually, a lot of the time, it's all worth it because eventually your team gets really, really good again, and you have a lot of success again. For the Islanders' playoff chances, gotta hope the Red Wings lose in regulation, which right now they are, to Seattle. Penguins lose in regulation, which again they are as well. Panthers lose in regulation, which again they are. And Senators lose in regulation, which they are. And I think also the Sabres might be as well. So right now for the Islanders' playoff chances, they certainly are looking better with the way the results are right now. But again, a lot of hockey left to go tonight, so we'll see. Sean, talk about that run with the Predators. That was a really fun run. Exactly. That was a really fun run for if you're a Predators fan. You're gonna look back on that with a lot of smiles. Also, my Preds always have had this standard of making the playoffs, but then being an easy first-round exit. I'm glad we're committing to the rebuild, even though we will suck. Excited for our future. And that's a good way to look at it because there's also times where a lot of teams, they just want to hold on as long as possible. And it's very hard to swallow their pride and say, we are going to go into this rebuild and we're going to do it right and things like that. And as a fan, how hard that is because you're going to go through a couple of years where you're not very good, but you're getting assets, you're getting young players, you're getting that talent, and you're building it up to a very good point. I think that, that's what I'm saying when you eventually get to the other side, like, again, using the New Jersey Devils as a good example, you get to the other side where all of it is coming together and you're having all of that success and all these young guys coming together, playing very well, creating a chemistry and obviously having success. So it's tough, but at the end of the day, it's also something that, a lot of teams, they just have to go through at some point in their history. It just happens all the time. It's part of sports, man. It's part of sports. What drink is that, Neil? It's simply just water. It's simply just water tonight. Kind of in a cool water bottle, though. It actually tracks up to about 32 ounces and kind of will tell me, how many ounces do I have left or how many I've had so far. So it's kind of a cool water bottle that I like using. So there you go. The good news is that teams tend to recover from bad periods a lot quicker than it used to be. That's another good point. I think teams are starting to do better at evaluating and finding different ways to, create, get really good value for even players that might have been overlooked by other teams. There's just new ways to get the teams to be better. And also with the salary cap going up, even if it's going up slowly, I think certainly does help as well. I did watch the Devils Avalanche game last night. Definitely a wild game, 7-5 win for the Devils in that one in Colorado. That actually gives them 7 goals in each of their last 2 games, so that's 14 in the last 2 games for the Devils. Wow, man. I would say luckily the Devils won and sweep the defending Cup champs in 2 games. Yeah, definitely a big stepping stone for the Devils to sweep the season series against the defending Cup champs, winning both games. And it's crazy, the first game back in October between those 2 teams, it was 1-0 Devils. And this one, 7-5. But I think for the Devils and, again, the young team that they are and the team, looking to make that next step in their development as, Cup contenders, for them to go up against the defending Cup champs and win both games and sweep the season series, I think is a big thing. It's a really, really big thing. And I think it's great that the Devils were able to do that. Had a feeling it was water, but how that bottle looks like you were drinking something different, though. Yeah, it's pink, so I think that's why you could assume that. But it is just a simple water bottle. But going back to the game here, right, really quickly. So again, yeah, Rangers up 1-0. Chris Kreider had the only goal, was a shorthanded goal. I think so far the Rangers definitely are feeding off of the excitement and enthusiasm of Patrick Kane making his Rangers debut. Also coming back and getting the win in Philadelphia last night in overtime, 3-2 against the Flyers. And they're definitely looking to try to get back-to-back wins, move to within 4 points of the Devils for second place in the Metro, and really just trying to keep pace. I think that's their big thing. And, they got 20-some-odd games left to go this season to try to create that chemistry with Kane. I think they've already done a really good job of that with Tarasenko, but I think it's going to be more Patrick Kane. And just kind of going from there. And so that's why, again, I don't think the Rangers make any more moves because, quite frankly, they don't have the cap space to do anything else. And I know that there's all these loopholes, long-term IRs, and all that other crap. But I think the Rangers are very much happy and solidified with what they have. So I think that's the way we got to look at it with them. But as for Ottawa, man, for them to get Jacob Chychrun, which, I'm not laughing at Jacob Chychrun that he got traded to Ottawa because – well, Ottawa, obviously still a very, very young team. They do have a lot of talent. And I think if Chychrun wants to stay this course and stay in Ottawa long term, I think that just adds another really, really solid piece, especially on the defensive core, because left shooting defenseman was a major need for this Ottawa team. And I'm sure in a way they are excited to get him. And again, these are conditional picks. So it's not like the Senators gave up a ton for Jacob Chychrun anyway. I just think it's so crazy how this has lingered on for about 2+ years. We finally get a trade, and it ends up being for very little. So I don't know if Arizona's just happy that they got Chychrun off their team, even if they didn't get a whole lot. But I mean, that's really the reality of it all. But we'll see how Chychrun feels about playing in Ottawa and how things go for the rest of this season. I haven't been able to watch the game yet. How is Kane doing so far? I think Kane looks pretty solid. He did have one shot that got blocked on a power play late in the first period. He's definitely more focusing on making those passes, especially over to Artemi Panarin. And I think he's still just trying to get acclimated because, again, he hasn't played with Artemi Panarin in several years. He hasn't played with a lot of the guys he's playing with right now. So he's just trying to get acclimated. Would I be surprised that by the time the third period comes around, he's much more comfortable and he gets himself really going? No, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even be shocked if he ended up finding the back of the net at some point tonight. He has been playing well up until he got benched for trade-related reasons, which obviously we know why, things like that. So, he's looked solid through 20 minutes so far of being a New York Ranger. What is going on, Jakob? Thank you so much for subscribing and hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. Again, guys, don't forget to leave a like on the stream if you like what you see so far. And also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new live watch-alongs that we do here. Don't forget to subscribe as always, guys, and tell your family and friends as well. This is the #1 hockey community on YouTube. You guys are the absolute best. Angus is drinking some local St. Louis stout beer called Cast Iron Oatmeal Stout Beer. That actually sounds pretty delicious, if I do say so myself, Angus. This is very, I know that you talk a lot about, especially beer in St. Louis, and obviously that's a big place for beer. So definitely, I'm curious to head over to the Gateway to the West at some point, kind of go from there. And obviously, sports are definitely popular in St. Louis. You got obviously the Cardinals. Baseball is right around the corner. The Blues, I'm sure a lot of people just want the damn season to end at this point. You got the St. Louis Battlehawks of the XFL. Yes, the XFL Spring Football League is back. Battlehawks off to a good start. 2-0 on the season. They are looking to go to 3-0 when they take on the DC Defenders this Sunday at 1 o'clock in the nation's capital. So, yeah, a lot of really fun sports. Also, St. Louis FC, I believe, as well for soccer. Danelle wants to go see Cocaine Bear. I'd say wear your Devils gear, my friend. That's what I would say. Jakob says to me, Jakob the check. Oh, what's going on, Jakob? I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you right away. I do apologize, man. But good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Angus says thanks for the reminder. No worries. 3-2 Seattle over the Red Wings after one. What's going on, Liam Walt? Thank you for saying hi, man. We do appreciate it. Don't forget to leave a like while you're here. RJ, let me know it's 1-0 Lightning over Pittsburgh after one, and it's 2-0 Nashville over Florida after one. Very cool. Also, it is still no score after one period against the Bruins and the Sabres. And St. Louis City SC, new MLS team. All right, that's the team. Sorry, Angus. I knew I was close to the name of the team. So, so you got a lot of sports. There is Patrick Kane, one shot in 9 chips, 6 minutes and 15 seconds of ice time so far in his Rangers debut. His wife and his child are in the stands. They are excited, and I'm sure every Rangers fan is certainly excited as we are just about ready to get underway in the second period here with the Rangers up 1-0. The Rangers also will have about 1:26 of an abbreviated power play, thanks to a too many men on the ice call against the Senators. So we'll see if the Rangers can strike early here with a fresh sheet of ice. So here we go as the puck is dropped and the second period here of our game is underway. Again, between the Senators and the Rangers, the debut of Patrick Kane as a blue shirt. So Adam Fox kicks things off here, gets over to Zibanejad, now to Panarin. Artemi Panarin up the center of the ice, has some space, takes a high-rising shot, and that one goes over the net. Now it's behind the net. Senators get the puck, trying to get it out. They cannot. Both teams kind of whacking at it in the right side here, is trying to get control as both teams basically. Still fighting with it as the ref is trying to tell the guys to move the puck here. And finally the Senators get it and clear with 50 seconds to go on the power play. Patrick Kane now with the puck at center ice. Slowly makes away, gives it over to Kreider. Now gets over to Zibanejad. Now over to Panarin. Panarin, top of the point to Adam Fox. Fox wraps it around to Panarin. Panarin now takes a wrist shot. That one gets blocked. Now Patrick Kane with the puck. Gets it to Zibanejad. Now to Adam Fox. Back over to Kane on the left faceoff dot. Gets it top of the point to Panarin with a slap shot. Slowly gets its way to Talbot and he makes the save. Now Fox gets it over to Kane. Now to Zibanejad. Back over to Artemi Panarin. Gets over to Kreider. Now over to Kane. Feeds it in front of Panarin. That one is stopped. And now Panarin gets it back. Gets it top of the point. Gets it over to Patrick Kane. Drops off to Zibanejad. Feeds it over to Panarin, but that one is stick away from him. Power play is over. Panarin feeds it over to Zibanejad. Now a shot from Fox and high riser is stopped and covered by Talbot. And that power play finally comes to an end. A lot of good puck movement, some really good shots from the Rangers' top power play unit, but they cannot score there, and so it remains 1-0 Rangers here. But Cam Talbot definitely playing strong here against his former team. Liam says, do you think the Bruins can break the records? I'm assuming you're talking about, the points and wins record. I definitely think they can with the way that they've been playing. They just seem to break every freaking record, Liam, honestly. I think they definitely can. About the only sport St. Louis does not have is NFL and NBA. They briefly had a team in the ABA. That's pretty cool. I actually didn't know. Oh yeah, the Spirit of St. Louis, I believe, was their team name. If I'm not correct, if I'm not mistaken, Angus, and you could correct me if I'm wrong. But hopefully, with again the Battle Hawks and the XFL coming back to St. Louis, maybe that will try to get more of attention to the NFL to maybe come back to the gateway to the West. Now a drop pass over to Capo Caco with a wrist shot. That one gets deflected up and out of play. So we get a face-off here. 2:15 into the second period. 1-0 Rangers still on a shorthanded goal back in the first from Chris Kreider. Young says, I changed the name here, so not your fault. I'm okay. Couldn't play for some time because of medical condition, but slowly getting back to good, so it's good, I guess. Good to hear, man. Good to hear. Wanted to see Kane, but it's not on TV, so I'm here. Fair enough. Fair enough, Jakob. Well, we appreciate you hanging out with us, man. What's going on, Sophie? Thank you so much for saying hi. We do appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. And don't forget to leave a like on here as a rebound shot from Tarasenko gets stopped. And then he immediately shakes his wrist. And we're going to get a penalty here against the Senators. It's going to be a slash. So the Rangers going right back to the power play for the third time tonight. And it's going to be newly acquired Jacob Chikrin going to the sin bin as he'll get a slashing call as he slashed Tarasenko right on the wrist there. I mean, pretty, obvious, very obvious there. So now, see if the Rangers, with their third power play, let's see if they can finally get one here. So Jacob Chikrin, 2-minute slashing call. Liam says, I hope that the Penguins actually make the playoffs this season so I can go to a game. They're still in it, and they still got Sidney Crosby and Malkin and all those guys, so you can never really count them out. You are correct with the name. I do not see St. Louis getting an NBA team. They are a medium market city. It would be tough. It would be tough. Now a drive there from Zibanejad, and that one gets blockered aside by Talbot. And now the Senators get it, and they'll clear. So a good save right away off a shot from Zibanejad on a good save by Talbot. So the Rangers' top power play unit again back out there. Fox dumps it into the corner. Kreider gets there first. Chris Kreider waits, drops it off to Kane, tries to make a feed, and it's taken away by Ottawa. Tim Stützle coming up, drops it off to his teammate, waits, gets it back over to Stützle, but now the Rangers will control it here. Now the Rangers slowly make their way up. Kreider now drops it off to Patty Kane. Kane now with it slowly makes his way, dekes around a defender, but couldn't get enough of it to get it back, and it slowly goes and gets covered by Talbot. 1:11 to go on the Ranger power play, 16:50 remaining in the second period. Ricard Raquel, that's another guy who definitely is there, and also I think Michael Granlund, right? I think Granlund was traded to Pittsburgh as well. My wonderful mother is in the chat. Glad you are back doing a live watch along. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be back. Julian Olson saying hi. How are you? Doing very well, Julian. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I hope you are doing well also. Rangers' second power play unit on right now. Tarasenko with the puck. Now gets it back to the top of the point to Jacob Trouba. Now to Tarasenko. Gets it over. Tried to get it to Trocheck. He regains it. Trocheck now with the puck. Drops it off to the Hedl. Hedl now around the boards over to Tarasenko. Tarasenko drops it to Trouba. Now over to Tarasenko. Gets it top of the point again to Trouba. Trouba with a shot through traffic gets blocked. Trocheck gets it back. Gets a one-time shot for Tarasenko. And that is stopped by Talbot. And we'll get a whistle. Oh, that one came right to Tarasenko. Looking like it was going to easily be a one-timer goal. But Talbot got over and made another great save. Cam Talbot, who, again, he's given up the only goal of the game so far, but really has been one of the stars of this game. Since that short-handed goal, he has been very, very strong in net, as he has so far stopped 17 of the 18 blue shirt shots that he has faced here in this one. So Sophie says she's going to go, but she'll be back. No worries at all. Rangers now with the puck. That shot goes wide. Now Trocheck with it, gets it top of the point to Trouba. Now gets it over, and Tarasenko couldn't control it, and the Senators are able to clear. So here we go here. 18 seconds to go in the power play. Maybe one last rush for the Rangers if they hurry. Tarasenko drops off to Philip Hedl, and Hedl loses the puck. Senators are able to get it, and they'll clear it. And I think that's pretty much going to do it. And that will do it for the Ranger power play. So 0 for 3 tonight are the Rangers on the power play here. And they still only lead at 1-0. Trocheck now to Hedl with a shot. And that one gets blocked. Now it gets touched by a high stick. No penalty called. And now Sanderson will stop and get it for Ottawa. Stützle now. He'll dump it into the Ranger zone around the boards. Now Claude Giroux gets it, wraps it to the other side, gets it to Tkachuk. Brady Tkachuk now with it. Top of the point now. Ritu with a shot. But it looks like that one was just offside, so we'll get a whistle here as Zub with the shot with the offsides call. 15-14 to go in the second period. Senators playing some really good hockey of late, 10-3-1 in the last 14 games. So Coach DJ Smith, got the boys playing pretty well of late, which definitely has got to give them some confidence as they get towards the end of the season. Julie says, what is your favorite hockey team? My favorite hockey team is also the team that I cover here on the network, and that is the New Jersey Devils. It's a big-time hit from Brady Tkachuk, and I believe that was on Mikula, number 77, one of the other new acquisitions, Mikola, one of the new acquisitions as well. He was part of the Tarasenko deal from St. Louis. Lafreniere had the puck for a moment, but it's taken away by Ottawa. And Tomas Chabot comes up the left side, stops, gets it over to Stützle, dekes around one defender. Puck slowly is under a Ranger player, comes out in front, scramble the crease, Tkachuk with a shot, follow-up try is stopped as well. Oh my goodness. Now gets it over one time, shot there by Stützle, and he shot it wide. Penalty coming up here, and it's going to be against the Senators. Against the Rangers. So the Senators will go to the power play here for the second time tonight. Looks like it's Braden Schneider, but just moments ago, just chaos in front of Halak's net. They show a replay of the big-time hit from Tkachuk on Mikola. And then you saw here on the replay, as Tkachuk had the puck, there was a scramble with a bunch of Rangers. Stützle had it, gets robbed for the third time tonight from Halak. Tkachuk had an opportunity on a rebound. I mean, just a couple of chances, but no goal there. But now we'll see if the Senators can tie this game up here on the power play with 14:27 to go in the second period. A hooking call to Braden Schneider. And face-off won there by the Rangers, and now Kreider now has an opportunity. Drops out one time. Shot there from Zibanejad. Goes wide. Rangers looking for their second shorthanded goal of the night. Senators 0 for 1 on the power play. Had one shot on that first one as DeBrincat gets rocked right in front of the Senators bench. And the Rangers get the puck and clear. Do you know who's calling the Penguins versus Blue Jackets game? I do not, Liam. I am not sure who is calling that game. I do apologize for that. Tim Stützle with the puck. Drops off to DeBrincat. Now back to Stützle. Over to Tkachuk. Now gets it to Tim Stützle. Top of the point, just Shabbat. Now over to his teammate with a wrist shot. That one gets blocked. The Senators control it. Feeds it in front and just goes over the stick of one guy. Shabbat with a drive, and that one is stopped by Halak. Now Shabbat with the puck again. Over to Stützle. Feeds it in front. Couldn't get it. Tkachuk has the puck behind the net. Gets it over to DeBrincat. Now over to Stützle. Now gets it over back to Stützle. Gets it over to 19. Now over to Stützle. Top of the point to Shabbat. Shabbat waits. Gets over to DeBrincat. Now to Shabbat. Shabbat again with 40 seconds to go on the power play. DeBrincat with a shot. That one gets blocked. Senators trying to control it here. Anderson now with the puck. But the Rangers get it in clear with 30 seconds to go in this power play here for the Senators. What is going on, Kay Connors? Good to see you, my friend. It has certainly been a while. Hope you are doing well, and we thank you, as always, for hanging out with us for these live watch-alongs. Senators trying to control it here. Brassard gets it top of the point to Sanderson. Sanderson now over to Claude Giroux. Giroux with the puck. Waits. Still with it. Still looking for a lane. Takes a wrist shot. That one gets deflected, but a good save by Halak. Rangers get it, can't get it out. Giroux still with it. Gets it over. One-time shot from number 6. That one goes wide. Jacob Chikrin, gets over. Slap shot by Sanderson, and his stick shatters. Senators trying to continue to keep it in, but the Rangers get it, and it'll finally get out of the zone. Long feed there to Schneider, but it looks like it deflects up and out of play. So we got 12:13 to go in the second. Senators could not get one home on the power play. They still trail it here 1-0. Lance usually calls Blue Jackets games. Fair enough. Well, I am not Lance, and this is not a Blue Jackets game here tonight, but I think it is Lance. I think you are correct, Angus, so I will give you that. But before we continue on here, we're going to step aside for a quick moment to get another word from our sponsors. Here we go. As we are back underway here in this one. Just about 8 minutes into the second period. Still 1-0 Rangers, thanks to a shorthanded goal back in the first from Chris Kreider. Senators just had their second power play. It's a pretty good one. Had some good chances, but Halak shut the door and keeps the Senators, at least for now, still off the score sheet. Zibanejad drops it off to Tarasenko, feeds it over to Schneider. Toe drag shot, and that one is stopped by Talbot. Follow-up try by Tarasenko, and he shot it wide, and he looks up to the rafters. Cannot believe he could not score on that one as he looked to try to double the lead. Tkachuk now with the puck for Ottawa takes a shot that goes wide. Sanderson with a follow-up try that completely misses the net. Liam Wolf giving some score updates. 1-1 in the Penguins game. As a shot there from Ottawa, I believe from Giroux, goes wide of the net. 2-1 Penguins now, so the Penguins have grabbed the lead. Liam says we scored 2 goals in 1 minute. All right, so we got a Penguins fan. Liam Wolf is definitely a Penguins fan, so we got a Penguins fan in the chat, which is dope. Like to see fans of all teams in NHL in these live watch-alongs, guys. Really, really do appreciate all of you guys hanging out with us, man. I really have a great time doing this with you guys. Now the Rangers have the puck in their own zone. Trocheck trying to get it out. Gets it over to number 5. Not sure who that is, actually. Usually what I do if I don't know the player, I'll say like the number just so that we can keep it going. But I'll learn as we go along here. As Trocheck now with the puck. Gets the puck knocked off him by DeBrincat. Brinkett feeds it over to 57. Takes a right shot, and that one goes just wide of the net. Zub now takes a shot there from the center. Follow-up try, and they score! It's Pinto on a rebound, and the Senators have tied the game up at 1 with 10:18 to go here in the second period. As it's the man they call Pinto Bean. Yeah, I know, they really do call him that because it's his last name. But Pinto, number 57 of the Senators, scores on the rebound. He got the puck into the offensive zone. He took the first shot that went wide. Senators just kind of got it back and threw it right on net. And then a nice backhand feed from DeBrincat to Shane Pinto, who scores and ties the game up at 1. So the Senators finally get on the scoreboard and tie it up. What is going on, Jeff Nelson? Yes, it has been a long time no see. I'm doing very well, my friend. Excited to finally be back doing another live watch along. And we thank you as always, man, for hanging out with us. Really do appreciate it. 2 goals in 25 seconds for the Penguins. Impressive. Shot there, and that one's deflected, and they score! And the Senators have taken the lead! It's Derek Brassard, the former Ranger. It is 1,000th game. Gets some revenge and scores. And the Senators, within 30 seconds of each other, have now taken the lead. It's 2-1 Ottawa. My goodness, what a turn of events in the last couple of seconds. So the Senators had the puck in the left corner. 21 just took a nice shot, but a great deflection from Derek Brassard. Joseph with the original shot. We'll see it again. It is going to be Derek Brassard who gets the goal. So again, Brassard played a handful of years for the Rangers, and he's playing in his 1,000th game tonight, and he gets rewarded with a goal. 2 goals in 21 seconds for the Senators, and they have the lead here just about the halfway point of this game. So Madison Square Garden a little stunned. Derek Brassard with his 10th goal of the year, and probably his most special goal of the season, considering, again, 1,000 game. Shane Pinto's goal, which tied the game, his 16th of the season. Jeff says you have some dirt on your chin. Yeah, I know. I'm rocking the facial hair, man, but I like the way that it looks. Shows a little bit that I've gotten a little bit older, I guess you'd say. Shane Pinto's goal from DeBrincat and Drake Batherson at the 9:42 mark. Rangers coming right back in, trying to tie this one up here as they've again conceded 2 goals in 21 seconds. So definitely some miscommunication by the Rangers defense. And that is kind of, again, the talking point about the Rangers having so much offense, but their defense is shaking. You kind of see a little bit of that over these last over this last 2 minutes or so, with the Senators scoring in 2 goals in less than 30 seconds. Derek Brassard's goal at the 10:03 mark, 10th of the year from Joseph and Dylan Gambrell. Dylan Gambrell, former San Jose Shark. Did not know he was in Ottawa. There's a fun fact for all of you. Anyway, I like to give you guys fun facts every now and then to show you how much hockey knowledge I have. Cam Talbot now with the puck. Shots are 20-17 right now in favor of the Rangers, but they are trailing here in this one. Again, thanks to 2 goals, 21 seconds from Shane Pinto and Derek Brassard. So that is crazy. 8:35 to go here in the second period. Again, DJ Smith is the head coach of the Ottawa Senators. Again, they are 10-3-1 in their last 14 games, so they have played a lot better over the last couple of weeks, and you can see it here. So if you're a Senators fan, you got to feel pretty good about where the team is going. And now you acquire Jacob Chychrun, and we'll see if the Senators are going to be able to keep him long-term. Same thing with Alex DeBrincat, who will be a restricted free agent at season's end. I would expect them to get both of these guys to come back. Now Pinto drops it off, and a wrist shot there from, I think, DeBrincat, if I'm not mistaken. Excuse me, that was Batherson, just goes wide. Shots are 9-8 in this period in favor of the Senators. Now Tomas Chabot makes a long streak there to 21. Joseph with a drive, and that one is stopped by Halak. So the Senators are flying all over the ice right now. Now that they have the 2-1 lead. Trocheck now feeds it over Panarin, takes a shot, that one gets blocked. Panarin with the puck again, feeds it over. Jacob Trouba with a backhand shot, and he scores! Jacob Trouba! Just a great feed from Panarin. He gets the puck, goes forehand, backhand, top shelf, and he beats Cam Talbot. And the Rangers have tied the game up at 2 with 7:45 to go here in the second period. It's the captain, Jacob Trouba. So Trocheck came into the zone, dropped it off to Panarin. His shot got blocked, got it right back, just circled around, created some space, caught a streaking Jacob Trouba, and he went top shelf. And I think it might have hit off either a Senator or potentially Trocheck. We'll see it again in slow motion. I think it might have hit off of Tomas Chabot. So I think they're going to give it. We'll see it again here. Again, it's kind of hard to tell. They're either going to give it to Trouba or Vincent Trocheck, but either way, it is a tie hockey game here at 2. So third goal of the period here, and this one has definitely picked up in terms of intensity. There's a shot there from the Rangers. Patrick Kane just goes wide. Kane gets the puck again. Kane gets it over to the right corner. Vincent Trocheck. Trocheck gets the puck knocked off him by number 5. Rangers get it back for a moment. Tim Stützle wraps it around the boards to Tkachuk. He makes a long feed just out of the reach of Claude Giroux. Who's going to get there first? It's going to be Brady Schneider. No icing here. Rangers will slow it up. 7 minutes to go here in the second period. 2 goals from the Senators and 1 from the Rangers has this game tied up at 2. Jacob Trouba, 5th goal of the year from Panarin and Trocheck. Now Jake Sanderson with the puck. Sanderson stops, takes a wrist shot through traffic that goes behind the net and wide. Senators trying to keep the puck in right now. Feeds it over, just out of the reach, gets it over. Sanderson with a drive, and that one gets blocked just before it got to Halak. So now the Rangers wrap it around the boards to Adam Fox. Fox will bank it off the boards, makes a nice feed, but couldn't get it to Lafreniere. Almost got it to him. Senators come right back in. DeBrincat still has it, slowly gets it over to Drew Batherson. Drake Batherson has the puck knocked off him. Fox gets it, flips it high into the air, goes back into the Senator zone. Pinto now wraps it around, take it away. Now one-time shot there from Hedl. That one stopped by Talbot. Okay, right out in front. Nobody around. Hedl gets it back in a high riser, goes wide of the net, and the puck comes out of the zone. Philip Hedl with 2 chances in a matter of seconds, but neither one could convert as we remain tied at 2. Shots are now 22-20 in favor of the Rangers. So the shots much more even here in this second and overall than they were when we looked at it through the first period. Liam said in the Penguins game it is now tied at 2. So there's that. So we got more tie games going on. So we have some pretty good games so far here tonight. It's a long feed there as now the Senators trying to get it into the zone. They cannot. Now Jacob Chychrun will slap it into the zone. I think it's also been, almost a week and a half since Jacob Chychrun has played, since he's been benched the last handful of games. Now a long feed here for Tarasenko. He comes in with a backhand, and he scores! Vladimir Tarasenko! He got a step on the defense, slowly made his way in, and did a nice slow backhand tap-in, beating Cam Talbot. And the Rangers are back up by 1. It's 3-2 New York. So Tarasenko with a goal. Then he continues to pay dividends here since being acquired from St. Louis. I know that's got to hurt Angus a little bit, but a great feed. I think that was from Zibanejad to a streaking Tarasenko, and he's able to get one past Talbot, and the Rangers have the lead. So both teams have now played with the lead in this period as we have our fourth goal of the period. Remember, it was 1-0 after 1. And we are now at 3-2. So things have picked up tremendously. What's going on, Dylan? Thank you so much for hanging out with us, man. Really do appreciate you setting this up for me. And great to see you as always. Don't forget, you already know, man. Don't forget to leave a like on the stream while you are here. He said, Neil's on, so we're going to OT tonight, folks. Yeah, that's kind of been my bad luck that I get a lot of the games that end up going to overtime when I do live watch-alongs. Since for some of you that may not have done live watch-alongs with me before. So now here comes the Rangers again. Catcher Kane with the puck. He gets rocked by Tim Stützle. And now Zub gets it. Now it's taken away by Patrick Kane for a moment. Rangers trying to keep it in. Adam Fox gets it over to Panarin. Penalty coming up here against the Senators. Fox now with a triple with a shot, and that one goes wide. Number 5, the one who took that shot. And we finally get a touch up here with 4:05 to go in the second period. Things have really ramped up here. Senators had the lead 2-1. Rangers got the lead back. 3-2 Rangers with 4:08 to go here in the second period. We'll step aside for a moment here to get another quick word from our sponsors. So here we go as we're back to action here as now the Rangers are going back to the power play. They are up 3-2. If you are just tuning in, guys, you have missed a lot. It was 1-0 to start the period, and then Shane Pinto and Derek Brassard got goals in 21 seconds to give the Senators a 2-1 lead. Jacob Trouba then followed it up a few minutes later, tying the game, and then Vladimir Tarasenko moments ago gave the Rangers the 3-2 lead on a breakaways. Now the Rangers with the puck. Panarin Kane gets it over to Zibanejad, and that shot just goes wide. Patrick Kane now with the puck. Gets it over to Fox. Now to Panarin. Tried to get it over to Zibanejad, and it's taken away by Ottawa, and they'll just dump it out and clear. Artem Zub, who gets the 2-minute call for interference, the one who's in the penalty box for Ottawa. Rangers 0 for 3 on the power play, but not for a lack of trying because they have 10 shots on goal. So they clearly have been active. Panarin now with the puck. Gets it over to Kreider with a shot. Now it gets blocked. Patrick Kane now with the puck. Over to Adam Fox. Now to Kane, the right face-off dot. Kane walks the line. Gets it top of the point over to Fox. Now gets it back to Patrick Kane. Top of the point again to Fox. Fox tries to make a pass. Now it gets back over to Kane. Bounces it off the backboards and well over to Artemi Panarin. Panarin now backhands it over to the other side. Back to Kane. Now to Fox. Now back to Kane again on the right face-off dot. Tries to make a pass. It gets blocked. Kane gets it back. Gets it to Fox. 50 seconds to go on the power play. Panarin now with it again. Panarin now over to Zibanejad. Tries to feed it over to Kane, but it goes out of the zone. So that pass almost worked there. It's now the Rangers' second power play will come on. 30 seconds to go on the Ranger power play. 2:35 and ticking to go in the second period. Rangers up 3-2. Trocheck now into the zone. He gets the puck taken away for a moment. Both teams kind of scrambling for it, and now comes out of the zone as you saw Tim Stützle just miss that opportunity, maybe a shorthanded chance. 10 seconds to go on this power play. Filipino now with the puck. Tries to make a feed over, but there's just too many bodies over on the right side near the penalty box. But now the Rangers get it. Hedl now gets it over to his teammate, takes a high riser, and that one is stopped by Talbot. Power play is up. So the Rangers now 0 for 4 on the power play tonight. Man, just cannot find a way to score when they have the man advantage. Tim Stützle now into the zone for Ottawa, and he takes a shot, and that one gets blocked. And then Stützle gets slid up there by a Ranger defenseman. Now Claude Giroux dumps it around the boards, gets it over to Stützle. Stützle now gets it over to Shabbat, just able to keep it in. Now over to his teammate, wraps it around. 90 seconds to go in this second period. Rangers holding on to a 3-2 lead. Rangers finally were able to get the puck out of the zone. Blocked shots are 12-7 in favor of Ottawa. So that comes as very little surprise. Now Brady Tkachuk gets it in, drops it off to Pinto. Now to Tkachuk, takes a shot. That one is stopped. Follow-up try there by Pinto. It's stopped and covered by Halak. So Shane Pinto looking for a second, but couldn't get it there. 1:11 to go in the second period. 3-2 Rangers here against the Senators. Jeff says, is TikTok going away? I hope so. I read a ton on it. Those TikTok folks make piles of dough. Greatness of Mr. Beast gives a ton away. I did hear that Mr. Beast definitely is a very, very generous person when it comes to his money. So there's that. But I mean, if it is, I'm sure a lot of people will be upset. I personally am not a fan of TikTok, but that's just my opinion. Was it the first goal of Tarasenko for the Rangers? That was not Tarasenko's first goal as a Ranger, and his goal was not the first one of the game. Tarasenko's goal is the most recent one, which gave the Rangers a 3-2 lead, Jakob. Penguins now have a 3-2 lead, so the Penguins game and this game that we're doing here tonight are following the same type of formulas. They're both 3-2. I've never been on TikTok, Jeff. I only use Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, not so much Facebook and Insta. Yeah, I feel like, social media for a lot of people, a lot of times now it just feels like you only have one or two. And even then, like some of us are not even that active. Like I have Instagram and Twitter those are the ones that I use the most. And for Instagram, I really am active with my podcast Instagram page. So I'm really just on there all the time for it. And same thing with Twitter. Like I'm really just on there for only sports and my work. So like, again, I'm not as active on a lot of other stuff. So it's that. It's kind of funny. Again, the Rangers, Artemi Panarin and Patrick Kane have been teammates before, but they only played from 2015 to 2017. And when they played together, Patrick Kane had 195 points, which led the NHL, 115 assists, second in the NHL, and won the 2015-16 Hart Trophy. And Artemi Panarin during that time, 151 points, which was seventh in the NHL, and won the 2015-16 Calder Trophy as Rookie of the Year. So you knew, like early on, they were going to be a dynamic duo, and then the Blackhawks because they wanted Brandon Saad back for some stupid reason, just traded him to Columbus. And then Panarin became such like a fan of like so many people loved Panarin before he went to the Rangers because he was playing in a small market like Columbus. But obviously now that he's playing with the Rangers, maybe not so much. But he's still like a very fun player to watch. So there's that. But it looks like we're getting a penalty here, and it's going to be an interference call. And I'm not sure who it's against. I think it's the Rangers. Yeah, it's going to be against Mikola with 43.7 to go here in the second period. So the Senators will have 43 seconds here of the end of this period to try to see if they can score on the power play and try to tie this one up. Let's see if they can get some late momentum. So Mikola gets a 2-minute interference call. Now we'll see what the Senators do on the power play here as they're trailing by a goal. Drake Batherson. I got a hunch, man, that Batherson's going to find a way to score. Trouba, Zibanejad, Fox, and Kreider are on the ice for the Rangers on the penalty kill. That's how good. That's how crazy it is that their penalty kill is of those guys. Senators 0 for 2 on the power play with 2 shots. So far as Batherson tries to feed it in front. Now Brady Tkachuk tried to get it back to Batherson, and the Rangers are able to get it and flip it out of the zone. 26 seconds and ticking to go in this second period. As now here comes DeBrincat. He comes in with a wrist shot, and that one just goes wide. Now gets it over. Tkachuk tried to make a feed over to Batherson, but it gets deflected out of the zone. 13 seconds and ticking to go. See if the Senators get one last chance here before the end of the period. Tkachuk dumps it into the right corner. DeBrincat now. He makes a nice feed. Toe drag. Waits. Tried to take a shot at one. Gets blocked. And the Rangers just can't get it out. Tkachuk with 1 second left, but he could not get it off in time. And that will do it for a wild second period of play. So we had just one goal through 20 minutes, and then both teams added 2 goals each in that second period. We go back to a great diving play by Adam Fox on the toe drag chance from Tim Stützle. So a great chance there, but just couldn't cash in. But 2 goals for each team, and we have ourselves one hell of a game through 40 minutes of play. So what do you guys think so far? What do you think's going to happen? Give me your predictions and your thoughts and everything in the chat here. And don't forget to subscribe. The only way you can get involved in the chat, in the live chat, is by subscribing to the channel. So make sure you do that. And before we get to our intermission report, we're going to step aside again for another moment to get another word from our sponsors. And welcome back, everybody, here to the second intermission report of our game between the Ottawa Senators and the New York Rangers. And if you're just tuning into this one, you've missed quite a lot, as we had just one goal in the first period thanks to a shorthanded goal from Chris Kreider that made it 1-0. And then both teams just kicked it into high gear in the second period. Started with Shane Pinto and Derek Brassard getting goals 21 seconds apart from each other, which gave the Senators a 2-1 lead. And then the Rangers responded with back-to-back goals themselves, first from Jacob Trouba and then Vladimir Tarasenko. And that's where we are after 40 minutes. And again, the big thing going into this one is this is the debut of Patrick Kane. And so far tonight, he's looked okay. I think he's just trying to get acclimated to playing with this team, and he's still got 20 minutes. And, I'm sure the Rangers are going to need another goal or two to get themselves the win tonight. So we'll see if the man they call Showtime will step up here in the bright lights of New York and, help this Rangers team get a much-needed win on home ice. But it's a really good game so far. And again, you can't take the Senators for granted either, because they've won 10 of their last 14 games and gotten points in 11 of their last 14 games. So head coach DJ Smith has done a really good job of getting these guys to really, play really good hockey and score. They've been outscoring their opponents by a lot. So their offense has really been there, and you saw it in that second period with back-to-back goals like that. And obviously the big news for Ottawa is acquiring Jacob Chychrun yesterday from the Arizona Coyotes for a couple of conditional picks. So a pretty good steal of a move there by the Senators. And GM Pierre Dorion, the GM of the Ottawa Senators, he had expressed yesterday that I'm making all these moves because I promised guys like, Claude Giroux and, Brady Tkachuk that I was here to build a contender. I was here to build a winner. And that's what I'm doing here. And you could see it. They got Brady Tkachuk. They got Tim Stützle. They got Alex DeBrincat, Claude Giroux, Jacob Chychrun, Drake Batherson, Josh Norris, who unfortunately is out for the year with an injury. But all this talent, they have all this young talent that's going to need another year or so to develop. I bet you next year they're going to be a playoff team. That's my big hot take. I think the Ottawa Senators are going to be a playoff team next year. They are a team that you definitely do not want to take lightly, and they definitely play very, very hard, even when it doesn't look like things are going well. And, look, I'm not saying that their season is over right now, but, if they can get on a run, obviously find a way to win this game tonight and get on a run and really get themselves rolling, for all we know, they could get right back in the thick of things when it comes to trying to maybe make a late push to try to get into the playoffs. So we will see. Danelle says, okay, Neil, I just watched the ESPN First Take segment, and Molly said that the NHL doesn't count. And then Stephen A said, oh, please. And they said they only know about the NHL is that the puck is black. Yeah, that was the comment, that First Take's Molly Karam and Stephen A Smith made earlier today on First Take when they had well-known, New York sports broadcaster Michael Kay on. And for those of you that don't know, I'll give you the context of what happened. So I think it was towards the end of First Take, and Molly Karam asked Michael Kay, who is the next New York sports team to win a championship? And it went silent for like maybe 10 seconds, and then Michael Kay kind of slammed his hand on the table and said, Rangers. Went silent for a second, and Stephen A responded with, oh, please. And Molly Karam and Stephen A both said, basically, that doesn't count for some reason. Like professional hockey is like not a thing apparently. And, Stephen A made the very typical, very stereotypical, I might add, comment of, oh, the only thing I know about hockey is the puck is black. And, oh, I'm a very big, I'm a friend of Gary Bettman. And I'm like, dude, who says they're a friend of Gary Bettman? It's like, dude, like you're so full of garbage. Like, it's like ridiculous. So yeah, it is what it is, man. I mean, I'm not surprised by it. I'm not offended by it either. Like, I don't think for us as hockey fans, guys, like, let's not get so worked up about it, because we already know what the deal is. Like, we pretty much know that these guys, man, on ESPN, they don't care about hockey. They don't. I know ESPN has most of the rights to NHL games, but they don't care. They don't really do a good job of promoting it. That's why a lot more people like, at least when national broadcast, they like TNT because they're making a conscious effort to really try to put out a good product. And I think they do. They took the formula from inside the NBA and obviously are doing it here for NHL. And I think with the personalities and even the broadcasters, I think they're doing a really good job. So, hats off. Really, honestly, it's truly hats off to NHL at TNT. But at the end of the day, really, honestly, truly, at the end of the day, guys like Stephen A., people like Molly Karam, I don't even consider them to be really that good of analysts. I don't really think they do good at their job. I think, quite frankly, they're just there because they're personalities and that they just create a lot of tension and they create a lot of stories like what we're talking about right now. Like, at the end of the day, we all know what reality is, right? I mean, us as hockey fans deal with what even soccer fans in the United States say, like, oh, it's not a real sport. Like, who cares? It's like on ESPN, they care about football and basketball, and that's it. We know that. They don't even care that much about baseball, quite frankly. So, like, who cares? Like, these people suck. They suck at their job. ESPN is so desperate for clicks and for information, all that's, and for, news and all that stuff that they're going to make some really jerked off comments like that. And so let them make those jerked off comments because we all know what the reality is. They honestly know what the reality is, and we could just leave it at that. Jakob says, Kane and Rangers feel so weird. It's like some alternate universe where everyone is born with a pair of sentient extra arms that have their own personalities and goals and must be negotiated with. That is a very, very specific and strange way of looking at it, but it certainly is going to take some time to get used to Patrick Kane being in a Rangers sweater. Now, the funny thing about this whole situation is that all of us in the media were talking about Patrick Kane to the Rangers at the beginning of the season. So when it finally happened, it wasn't a shock. I think more of the shock was the fact that first the Rangers made the move to get Tarasenko, and pretty much it was just like, Patrick Kane's not going there. And then Patrick Kane basically says he wants to go to the Rangers. The Rangers are interested, and the Rangers are able to get him for literally nothing. I mean, literally nothing. And so that's kind of more of the story. Not the fact that Kane is on the Rangers, because I think that was only a matter of time, but how he ended up getting there. But it's still kind of a weird thing to see him in any uniform other than the Blackhawks uniform. I am kind of curious to know, at the end of the season, what does he end up doing? Does he retire? Does he maybe go to Buffalo and play close to home where he grew up? He grew up in Rochester. Does he go back to Chicago? Does he go to another cup contender and try to win? Who knows? We'll see. But right now, for the foreseeable future, he is a New York Ranger. Angus says, Stephen A. Smith and Molly ought to know when to shut up. They don't, because they know that they can just say what they want and they can just piss off everybody. And that's just how they are. So, like, honestly and truly, at the end of the day, guys, just like, let's not worry about it too much, right? Like, that's the way I look at it. Like, let's not worry about it too much. Let's not make this, too much of a big deal. They're going to say what they're going to say, and we're going to say what we're going to say. I mean, that's the way you got to look at it. So, Stephen A. Smith and Molly Karam, they get paid millions of dollars to talk about nonsense. I mean, they're talking about a sport in the NFL that we won't even see football until, August? So there's that. And the NBA, which we know how player-driven the NBA is and how much guys can just easily demand to be traded to whoever they want for whatever situation, as we've seen with Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, all these guys, just whatever, it's whatever. It is whatever. That's all I got to say. The diss on the NHL reminds me of what Max Kelman said, and he don't like the NHL at all. I also think that these guys are just programmed to not give a crap about hockey. They don't. They always care. The ESPN and all these people, they only care about basketball and football. That's it. That's it. They don't care about any other sport. They just don't. That's just how it goes. So it is what it is. Johnny Half says, ESPN clown too political. I'm going to say they're too political, Johnny. I think they're just more like very stubborn in the sense of like they think that they're so high up that they can just talk about whatever and like they don't care about these other sports. Like they're no longer the worldwide leader in sports. That's the way I look at it. So bottom line, folks, is this. Who cares what Stephen A. Molly Karam say? They're not even really that good at their job. They really don't know what they're talking about. And let's just leave it at that. So before we get underway here in this very exciting, what should be very exciting third period, we're going to step aside for another moment to get another word from our sponsors. You guys caught me there. All right, so we are just about ready to get underway here in this third period. Again, this has been an exciting one between the Rangers and the Senators. It was 1-0 after 20, and then both teams added 2 goals each, and now we have a 3-2 hockey game going into the third. And again, I've mentioned it many times, but I'll mention it again. The big storylines coming into this game. Tonight is the debut of Patrick Kane as a New York Ranger. And he hasn't gotten a point yet, but he's still got 20 minutes to see if he can do something here in his first game at Madison Square Garden as a Ranger. And Jacob Chychrun making his debut as an Ottawa Senator. So you got that. You also have some former Rangers on the Senators going up against, Derek Brassard, who is also playing in his 1,000th career game tonight, and also Cam Talbot, who has who played a decent amount for the New York Rangers early on in his career. I remember back in 2014-15 playoffs, he was the guy when Lundqvist was hurt. And he's actually had a pretty good game tonight despite giving up 3 goals. There's that. Rangers also are going to start the third period on an abbreviated power play. So let's see if the Rangers can take advantage of that going into this third period of play. Jakob says, should I be glad we don't have ESPN here? Look at it this way. ESPN has some things that are obviously beneficial. If you have ESPN Plus and you could watch the 30 for 30 documentaries or any of the cool things that they offer, good, that's great. Even if you have ESPN, it's fine because, there's definitely a lot of different channels that ESPN has. So there is that. But if you want to watch sports talk, guys talking and, things like that, in my opinion, you are much better off watching something else. Like I would recommend like Undisputed with Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless. And I know that people are not fans of Skip Bayless, but I think just in terms of two talking heads just kind of going at it and talking about sports, I think it's better. It's not as gimmicky, although again, they also talk a lot more about the NBA and the NFL and everything like that. So I think that so those are just, that's an option, and just, CBS Sports Network and things like that. But, it's all depending on preference. That's really what it is at the end of the day. Chris Kreider has 7 shorthanded goals in each combined in the last 2 seasons. Most of any player in the NHL. He had no shorthanded goals through his first 9 seasons of his career. So that's crazy. But here we go, guys. As players at center ice, puck is dropped, and the third period of our game is underway here between the Rangers and the Senators. So we'll see what these teams have in store for us. 1:10 left on the Senators power play. Excuse me, it was the Senators on the power play, not the Rangers. So let's see if the Senators can do something here. So now Derek Brassard, as that puck, that pass from Stützle gets broken up, and the Senators have to go back and regroup. So now Chabot gets it over to Alex DeBrincat. DeBrincat now drops it over to Tkachuk. Now to DeBrincat, stops, sets it up, gets it to Chabot. Chabot now over to Stützle. Now to Chabot. Tomas Chabot with the puck, gets it over, and that just pops over the stick of Tkachuk. Rangers get it and are able to clear just out of the zone with 30 seconds to go on the power play. Stützle coming right back in. Tries to get it over to Drake Batherson, just out of his reach. Stützle fighting with 2 Rangers players to get the puck back. Wraps it around the boards, and now Chabot gets the puck. Chabot drops it off to DeBrincat. DeBrincat now to Stützle, over to Tomas Chabot. Now over to Tkachuk. Tkachuk now to Chabot. Holds, gets it over to DeBrincat. DeBrincat with a wrist shot, and that one goes right into the breadbasket of Halak, and he'll cover with 6 seconds to go on the Senator power play here. So it looks like the Senators are going to come up empty-handed once again on the power play. And I forgot to mention, former teammates of Patrick Kane and Artemi Panarin, you have Alex DeBrincat, who was traded during the summer from Chicago to Ottawa. So a lot of former Blackhawks, a lot of former Senators, and things like that playing in this one. So I'm sure if you're a Blackhawks fan, this is definitely a game that you may not want to watch. Just saying. So the Rangers win that faceoff and clear, and so that'll do it for the Senators power play. So they are now 0 for 3 tonight. That's probably the best of the ones they've had, but still not great. Halak now with the puck, wraps it around the boards, taken away by Ottawa, gets in front, has an opportunity, backhand try, and they score! It's Derek Brassard with his second goal of the game! As again, in his 1,000th career game against his former team, he gets himself his second of the night, and the Senators, just 95 seconds into the third, have tied the game up at 3. Just a soft backhand shot caught Halak down, and he's able to beat him, and the Senators have tied it for the second time tonight, and Brassard can't believe it. He's looking at his teammates like he can't believe it. He's got 2 goals tonight. So all of a sudden, Derek Brassard, the former Ranger, is on hat-trick watch tonight. Angus says if ESPN was a sports team, they would be called the Bristol Clowns. Very nice. RJ with a score update, 4-4 between the Kraken and Red Wings after 2. But if you're just jumping in now, Derek Brassard with his 11th of the year, second of the night, ties this game up at 3, excuse me. Ties the game up. Definitely ties the game up, but at 3. So now here come the Rangers. Trocheck with a wrist shot. That one gets blocked by Artem Zub, excuse me. Zub now with the puck. Trying to shake off Patrick Kane. Now Dylan Gambrell with the puck. Backhands it, taken away by Panarin. Kind of softly throws it at the net and easily sticked aside by Talbot. We're just about 2.5 minutes into the third period here. Just a minute to go. Derek Brassard with his second of the night ties the game up at 3 here. Now it says if all 3 local teams make the playoffs, Rangers, Devils, Islanders, hockey will get talked about in WFN. The last time all 3 teams made the playoffs was back in 2007. So that was about 15 years ago that the last time all three New York, New Jersey teams made the playoffs in the same year. So we'll see if that ends up being the case. I think definitely Devils and Rangers. Islanders definitely got some work to do. Another score update. It is 3-2 Pittsburgh against the Lightning. By the way, Derek Brassard's goal, 11th of the year at the 135 mark, assisted by Claude Giroux. But 3-2 Penguins over the Lightning. As now the Senators with the puck. Stops, takes a wrist shot through traffic, goes wide of the net. Senators still with it. Kachuk gets the top of the point to his defenseman. 23 with a drive. That was deflected and they score! It's Claude Giroux, the longtime Philadelphia Flyer, continuing to just give the Rangers nightmares as he deflects one past the lock. And the Senators, with goals in the span of 2 minutes, have retaken the lead. It's 4-3 Ottawa. My goodness, this game just back and forth with lead change after lead change. So Kachuk got it top of the point. 23 took the shot, and basically Claude Giroux got a deflection and then got the puck on his own rebound and scored through the legs of Yaroslav Halak. But wow, Claude Giroux with his second point of the night, a golden assist. The former Flyer, man, just doing what he does best, and that is scoring against the Rangers. So we're only, 3.5 minutes into this period, and we have already 2 goals, both coming from Ottawa. But once again, 3-2 Pittsburgh over the Lightning, 2-1 Nashville over Florida early in the third. Angus said the last time the Rangers won the Cup was 94. That is correct. Andrew, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Real deal, Neil. Long time no see. Been doing well, my friend. Excited to finally be back doing a live watch along. Travis Hamonic, the former New York Islander, with an assist, as well as Brady Kachuk. So players of former players of rivals of the Rangers are getting points tonight here at Madison Square Garden. But I'm doing well, Andrew. Great to see you as always. Don't forget to smash that like button, man. You know the drill. As now Shane Pinto trying to get it in front. Scramble on the right side. Where's the puck? Still looking for it. So now the Rangers finally get it and are going to try to get it out. Bruins up 2-0 over Buffalo after 2. Stars with a lead in the first period against the Blackhawks 1-0. Third period shots are 4-1 in favor of the Senators. Shots are 27-25 in favor of the Rangers overall. Mr. Peace just made over $7 million. That is crazy. That is crazy. Andrew says, yeah, the past couple streams are like, where's my boy Neil? Don't worry, man. I'm definitely going to be trying to do more as we for the rest of this season, definitely. Yes, locally for each team's last time the Rangers won the Cup, 94, Devils 2003, and the Islanders 83. So there you go. So it's been a while since any of the New York or New Jersey teams have brought Lord Stanley's Cup. Is now a breakaway chance for Kachuk, and the puck jumped off his stick, feeds it in front, and nobody's home. Follow-up try by Kachuk, and that one gets stopped by Halak. Oh, the Senators nearly scored again. Hamonic with a try. That one's deflected, and they score! Oh, what a beautiful deflection from Brady Kachuk. And the Senators are just on fire right now as they've scored again, their third of the period, and they've doubled the lead. It's 5-3 Ottawa. Wow, so just seconds ago, Brady Kachuk with a breakaway, couldn't get a shot on. The Senators kept it in. Travis Hamonic took a shot, but he intentionally shot it wide so that Brady Kachuk could get a beautiful deflection beating Halak. And the Senators, with 3 unanswered goals here in the third, have a 5-3 lead, but it looks like there's going to be a challenge here for maybe offsides, I think. So we'll see. So here we go. Big moment in the game here. Big moment in the game. Because here's why. If the Senators' goal counts, they'll go to the power play while also still having this 2-goal lead. If it is offsides, which I think is what they're challenging, then the goal will be disallowed and it will remain 4-3. So we will see here. I remember when the Islanders was a powerhouse. Yeah, they were back in the 80s. Liam Wolf, 3-3 in that Penguins game against the Lightning. So we see here, was it offsides? I think it was. I think it was just offside. So I think that this is going to end up coming back, unfortunately, for Ottawa. Andrew, 1 cup in 83 years to the Rangers. This game is definitely insane. Goals galore. Goals galore. Right now, we are at 8 goals, but it might go back to 7. We'll see if this is going to be an offsides. Neil, what are your thoughts on the 20th anniversary of the Devils 03 Stanley Cup team? I was at that game. It was a phenomenal ceremony. It was a great time to see those guys and celebrate that championship again. And 7-0 blowout win over the Flyers, the rival Flyers. You'll take that any day and twice on Saturday. So it was a great night overall, man. Great night. I miss watching the 03 Devils team winning the Cup. They were so much fun to see. I was alive during that time, but I don't have a conscious memory. So, yeah, but, it's not that long. It was only 20 years ago, so it's not that long ago. But hopefully another Stanley Cup arrives in the Garden State in the very near future. So they're still looking at this potential offsides here. So this is a big moment in the game. This could be a turning point. We'll see. It looks like when they stop it on the replay that Tkachuk's skate, his right skate is still just on the blue line with the puck fully crossed over. If that's the case, then the goal is going to stand. So we'll see here. We're still waiting for confirmation. This is nuts. This is definitely a crazy game. I think I picked a good game to come back and do a live watch along with you guys. Because this is the debut of Patrick Kane as a Ranger, and he's not even really involved in this at all. There's just so many other things going on. Here we go, as now we get the call from the ref. So they called it offside. So the goal does not count, and so it remains a 4-3 game. So Brady Tkachuk does not get the goal there, and so it remains 4-3. Tkachuk just with a smile. It's what are you going to do? But a good call there, good challenge by Gerard Gallant. And so the Rangers still remain down just 1 goal, but that should be a warning sign. Rangers got to get something going here. They've given up 2 goals already and almost gave up a third if they didn't challenge that goal. Devils should have won that cup in 2001. I know, man. I know. We don't talk about that cup here. That did not happen. And also going to the former Continental Airlines Arena. It was a very small place, but a bunch of games there. A lot of special memories in the old Continental Airlines Arena, which is still there. It's the Izod Center, but, it's still there. Let's go on living with. It's back. It says, let's go. Just waiting for, I'm waiting for Flash Score here to update itself from the offsides goal. So again, the offsides, by the way, they're now looking to see how much time was left, because here's why. What they called offsides was the original breakaway chance that Brady Tkachuk had. And then after that, there was a bunch of seconds that went by, and then eventually the Senators scored. So now they got to go back to when they would call offsides and redo the time there, and then they'll go from there. So that's what they're waiting on. So finally get it right, 14:38, and so now we're back underway. And again, I do apologize. Flash Score, it's going to hopefully update itself in a bit. And when it does, it'll say 4-3 instead of 5-3 Ottawa. So now the Rangers with the puck in the offensive zone here. Adam Fox still with it, feeds it in front, and that one by Kreider just goes wide. Kreider looking for a second, looking to tie it up. Fox now with the puck, feeds it all the way over to Zibanejad. Zibanejad now over to Tarasenko. Tries to get it top of the point to Mikola, but that one gets deflected and out of the zone. So we are still waiting for the update here. So do apologize for that. Let's go on, Connor. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Don't forget to smash that like button while you're here. He says, "How's life treating you?" Life is treating me very well, Connor. Thank you for asking. I'm making a lot of really good changes for myself mentally, and also, just physically. Been keeping really busy with my podcast, Devil State of Mind podcast. I'm doing a lot of really good things. So life is treating me very well, Connor, and I hope the same is for you as well. And so they finally did update it here. So it is now 4-3. We've got 13, 15 and ticking to go here in this third period. The NHL ought to have better technology to quicken games. Offsides technology and goal line technology is very doable. Yeah, I mean you're starting to see that more in Major League Baseball. So maybe as time goes by, maybe that you'll see that more in the NHL. Let's see here. Dal's still with us. He says, well, the Patty Kane project was a bust. I mean, it's too early to say that because, I mean, again, it's the third period of the first game that Patrick Kane is playing as a Ranger. You still have, 20 some odd games of the regular season and the playoffs. So let's give it some time and see where things go. Rangers now have the puck. Filipino gets rocked in the corner. Now Jake Sanderson backhands it off the boards and out. The puck goes down into the Rangers zone. Not enough for an icing. The Rangers have to play it. Adam Fox now slowly with the puck. So the Senators, with 2 goals in this period, have given themselves the 4-3 lead. Derek Brassard, he was the one that tied it at 3, his second of the game, 11th of the year. And then Claude Giroux, about 2 minutes later, scored the next one to give the Senators the 4-3 lead. Ottawa right now with the puck in the offensive zone. Rangers trying to get it out. They cannot. That one knocked into the right corner. Drew now over to Tkachuk. Now gets it to Drew. Drew tried to feed it over to Jacob Chikrin, but he skated behind it. Now an opportunity for the Rangers. Here comes Craig with space. One-time shot by Zibanejad, and that one goes wide. Might have even hit the post, actually. Jacob Chikrin, who just got acquired in that trade from Arizona to Ottawa Senators, making his debut tonight. It's getting offsides here against the Rangers here. Just about 12 minutes to go in this one. Senators right now with the lead at 4-3. Was it a offsides or was it icing? I think it was icing. Connor says, doing well, doing grand. Watching an up and down Canucks, lost Bruce Horvat, now Shen, not impressed. We still have hapless draft named Tyler Myers. Yeah, clearly the Canucks have had themselves one hell of a season so far, and I do feel for all my Canucks fans and my Canucks friends out there, even my good buddy and my boss Dylan. So it's been crazy, man. It's certainly been crazy for the Vancouver Canucks. The Kane Stadium Series game was crazy. It really was. It was an entertaining game. Very entertaining game indeed. So while we have a quick stop and play, we're going to step aside for a quick moment to get another word from our sponsors. So Jaromir Jagr, Pierre LaRouche, and Mike Gardner are the only, I forgot what the question was. Oh, the only Rangers players with 10-plus goals against their former team or something along those lines. Anyway, we are back to the action here as the Senators right now with a 4-3 lead. They've scored 2 goals early in this period from Brassard and Giroux to grab this 1-goal lead. So now Drake Batherson throws it in front, and it's blocked aside by Halak. Sophia says, what was the score? I'm sorry about that, Sophie. I'm sorry. I had to step away for a moment. It is right now 4-3 Ottawa here with 11 minutes to go in the third period. That is where we're at right now. It's crazy. Games like the wins at Dallas, Colorado, the Isles, what we can do to beat anybody. But at home, we just flounder in defense. Yeah, I can't really explain exactly what is going on with the Vancouver Canucks, what the end game is or what their goal is long term and things like that. And it's probably been one of the strangest years for an NHL team that we've seen in quite some time. Oh, we show. Okay, that's what. Oh, okay. I got you now. Connor. Sorry about that. Jeff, isn't watching the Blues? It's like going through a dysfunctional relationship. I am done with them for the year. Fair enough, Angus. Fair enough. I don't blame you. I wonder if Craig Berube might get fired. Maybe he won't. We'll see. But this has been a crazy game, guys. And again, the big story going into this one was the fact that Patrick Kane was making his Rangers debut, and he has not been on the score sheet up until now. But this would be a good time for Showtime to step up. This would be a good time, especially in his first game. The Pens game is crazy. What is the score of that game? It's a sharp angle shot by Ottawa. It's stopped by Halak. Now Senators with the puck again. Stutzla try to get it over to Sanderson just out of his reach. Sanderson whacking away at it with Trouba. Rangers trying to get it out here. They cannot. Brady Tkachuk now with the puck. Tkachuk fighting with Trouba. Now gets it. Tkachuk still with the puck. Stops on a dime. Tkachuk, he gets knocked down by Trouba. Tkachuk wanted the penalty. Ref says no. Stutzla keeps it around. Gets it over to Tkachuk. Brady Tkachuk now with it. Backhands it over to now Giroux. Claude Giroux now gets it. Slap shot from Chychrun, and he couldn't get enough of it on. And now the Rangers look to come the other way, just out of the reach of Hedl. Chychrun will get there first. And he gets knocked down, and he is slow to get up. Oh, this is not good. Uh-oh. Jacob Chychrun, who just was acquired yesterday from Arizona, is now down on the ice. So his debut might come to a slow end as he is slow to get up. Not sure what he's dealing with, but that is unfortunate here. As we'll get a stoppage of play with 9:21 to go in the first. So if you're Jacob Chychrun, man, I mean, you're making your debut with the Senators, and now you're dealing with an injury. So that is not good. It's currently still 3-3 between the Lightning and the Penguins, so there's a good game as well. Right now, many of our so-called fans are hashtag Team for Bedard. If you support a team, you should want them to win. You know, Connor, I definitely understand where both sides are coming from because, look, I didn't want the Devils to tank either of the years that they ended up getting Nico Hischier and Jack Hughes, respectively. I didn't, right? And I never cheered for them to tank. Even last year, I didn't want them to tank. I was so tired of seeing my team just playing like garbage and getting all these draft picks and these prospects. I was like, when are we going to hit on these guys? When are we actually going to start winning? Like, I just don't care that much anymore about the draft. At least, for the next couple of years, I'm hopefully not going to have to care that much about the draft. That's the way I look at it. So I understand where you're coming from. I also understand where other people are coming from. You look at what Connor Bedard has been doing. In juniors and even in the World Junior Championships and everything, this dude looks like a once-in-a-generational player and a guy that you can build your franchise around. And so whoever gets him is going to be super, super, pumped up and lucky and, all that stuff. So I get where even the Vancouver fans who want to tank for Bedard, or as I like to say, get hard for Bedard, want. So Jacob Chychrun is, I think, still on the bench. He's definitely dealing with something. We're not sure, so we'll see if he can continue to play. Jeff Petrie, the former Hab, has 2 goals tonight for Pittsburgh. Wow. Don't apologize, Neil. It's just stupid autocorrect. I get it, though. So, look, at the end of the day, you're going to support your team no matter what. So, yeah, Philip Hedl kind of pushed Chychrun, and then Chychrun kind of did a split into the board, and that's pretty much what it's doing. So it's got to be like a knee injury or something. We'll see. I think he's doing okay. So he was able to get up and skate on his own. So I think he's going to try to keep playing. We'll see. He's talking to Travis Hamonic on the bench right now. So we'll see if he can keep playing here again. He's also making his debut after that trade from Arizona. Definitely, Jacob Chychrun, a guy that, has been in trade rumors for the last 2+ years, finally gets traded, ends up in Ottawa. Not a disrespect with you. It's just like, for how little he ended up going for, it was kind of like, a dud. As a shot there from Stützle is easily gloved by Halak. So another stoppage here, face off with 9:02 to go here in this third period, 4-3 Ottawa. If we're guaranteed to get him, I understand, but it isn't. It's a lottery. Imagine if we do not. Would look like the incompetent fools. That's the other thing. Like if you deliberately tank and you end up not getting the guy that you wanted to tank for, it looks pretty bad as well. So I don't think that the Canucks are trying to deliberately tank. They're going to, wherever they fall, wherever they fall. Funny enough, the year when the Devils got Jack Hughes, the last game of the season prior, the Devils won in overtime, and that actually ended up giving them the odds for the second highest odds. It's now an opportunity here. A foot race as Patrick Kane just couldn't get there in time. Otherwise, he might have had a golden opportunity. Turnover here, and that one's deflected by Kane, but a good save by Talbot. But by the Devils winning that game, they ended up getting to the second highest odds in the draft, which ended up meaning the second highest odds proved to be the best odds to get Jack Hughes, and that's how we won the lottery. So again, tanking, I'm not a fan of. I'm just not a fan of. Whatever you get is whatever you're going to get. So that puck deflects up and out of play. So another stop here, 8:19 to go in the third period. We just saw Patrick Kane almost get himself his first goal as a Ranger on a nice deflection. We'll see it again. Yep. It's good, a good deflection, but a better save from Cam Talbot. Yes, Binner is the goalie who can't. I think he will be in the Blues minor leagues after this year. That would be something. Pens are now winning. Drew O'Connor. Wow, so the Penguins get the lead. Patrick Kane in his Rangers debut, 3 shots in 18 shifts in almost 20 minutes of action. So he's had a solid one as he's still trying to get acclimated here. Rangers win the faceoff. Feed it in front there to Tarasenko and just out of the reach. He would have had an easy tap in for the tie. So the Rangers putting on some pressure here, trying to tie this game up. Zibanejad now with the puck. He holds, looking for somebody, tries to feed it in front, it gets blocked. Mikola keeps it in for a moment, and then the Senators are able to get it out. Now Tkachuk almost was able to catch a streaking Tim Stützle, but now Giroux with the puck. He takes a high riser, and that one's blocked by a blocker save by Halak. So Claude Giroux looking for his second tonight. Remember, Derek Brassard, the former Ranger in his 1,000th game, has 2 goals tonight. He's on hat trick watch. And also right now, shots 32-29 in favor of the Senators. Now the Senators are leading on the shots on goal as that pass deflects up and out of play. So we get another stoppage here with 7:28 to go in this third period. The move the Islanders did with the Maple Leafs, getting Pierre Engvall, don't know nothing about him, and Lou giving him number 18, just let him keep 47. Lou always hate high numbers. He's always hated high numbers, that's for sure. Engvall was more of a move to just get a little bit more veteran presence on the back end. The Maple Leafs were looking to move him anyway, so kind of worked out. It's definitely an interesting one. We'll see. Third period shots right now, 10-3 in favor of Ottawa. But the Rangers definitely, of the last minute or so, has picked things up. Now here come the Senators the other way. Joseph tries to get it over to Brassard. It's through his legs, and then Dylan Gambrell takes a shot that goes wide of the net. To me, the NHL and NBA don't need to do a draft lottery. Which team has the worst record and get the number 1 pick in the NFL does. The only problem with that is, again, you don't want to have a situation where teams are deliberately tanking. That's why they do the lottery. That's why they do it. And it's different in the NFL because there's so many more guys that can end up being impactful players right away. In the NHL and NBA, it's not always a guarantee that the guy is going to come in right away and be a generational talent. So there's just that's the situation with that. So we got 6:18 and ticking to go here in this third period. Rangers now with the puck. Trocheck gets it over to Panarin. Panarin with a backhand try. That one is stopped and covered by Cam Talbot. 6:11 to go here in this one. And the Rangers still trailing here 4-3. And as we get closer to the end of this third period, you got to wonder when Gerard Gallant may have to decide to pull Yaroslav Halak for the extra skater. Connor says, at least Andrei Kuzmenko is scoring for fun, so a big positive. Little surprised that he ended up not getting dealt. I know he had a lot of interest on the market, but they ended up re-signing or giving him an extension. Our forward play is good. We just need a good defense. Is that so hard to ask? Apparently in Vancouver, Connor, a lot of simple stuff is a lot to ask. Hopefully next year, like during the offseason, they could just settle after a crazy year and just get down to work and, really start to build this team. I think that's their hope. 5:48 and ticking to go in this one. Here we go. As now Brady Tkachuk gets it, bounces off the boards and out. Kind of feels like over the last 2 or 3 minutes that the Senators are playing a little bit more conservative hockey, trying to hold on to this lead. Is that dumping actually deflects up and out of play, and we'll get a stoppage of play and a commercial break. 5:32 to go in this one. Ottawa still with the 1-goal lead at 4-3. Sophie says, I'm cheering for Ottawa. As a Devils fan and knowing what's at stake in the standings and all that, I'm also on board with cheering for Ottawa to try to win this one, especially in regulation. Lou with the high numbers, and he did it with the Devils for a lot of years. I mean, there were some guys with high numbers like Alexander McGillney and Doug Gilmour. And granted, a lot of those guys were guys that ended up coming over from another team, but still. GM with the Islanders, Neil, tell me why Lou hates high numbers. I don't know. I really don't know why. I don't know. I have no good answer for you, honestly, to know. Connor says, fair assessment, Neil. I mean, again, I'm just speaking. I'm not a fan of the Canucks, and I don't watch them every day. So, I know about as much as the Canucks situation as a lot of people see in the news and all that stuff. So, but I still feel for the fans. I always am very sympathetic when I see that, because I think about what the Devils have gone through the last couple of years up until this year. And, look at last year. The Devils had freaking 7 different goalies play at least one game last year. It's absurd. And we were just doing some things that I've only seen the Devils ever been able to do. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, I'm very sympathetic with seeing franchise fan bases going through those horrific stuff and, having to deal with it. It sucks. Man, one really said Halak better than Shesterkin this season. You're right, buddy. I mean, I think of late, Halak has been playing better. And again, Shesterkin, comparatively to what he did last year, he is not the same player. He's not. He's not had the same great year. We'll see what he does once we get in the playoffs. To me, I'm always let's see what they can do once we get into the playoffs. I've always honestly liked Yaroslav Halak. He's been in the NHL for a long time, always been a very consistent goaltender. I think he also played for the Canucks at one time, and I think he was pretty solid in the 1 year that he was with the Canucks. He just plays out 1-year contracts and need a veteran goalie to back up a starter. So that's really what you have with him. And I'm sure and you could see that a lot of teams, find him very reliable. So the puck is into the right corner here of the Rangers zone. Derek Brassard trying to get to it. Now a shot there from Zub, and that one deflects just wide through a traffic. Puck comes back out of the zone. Senators trying to get it back in. They cannot. So now we've approached the last 5 minutes of this one. Senators with 2 goals early on in this third period from Brassard and Giroux have given themselves the 4-3 lead. Is it true Chychrun is injured? He did get hurt a few minutes ago, was slow to get up, made his way to the box, and was sitting on the bench. The shot there from Patrick Kane in the slot. It's stopped by Talbot. Oh, a beautiful chance for Patrick Kane to get his first goal as a Ranger. That shot from Trouba just goes wide. Panarin now with it. Tries to get it over to Kane, but it's taken away by the Senators. DeBrincat comes up the left side with a little bit of space. Toe drag shot, and that one just goes wide. Batherson falls down, overskating the puck. Now Patrick Kane gets it over to Panarin, but it's taken away by Shane Pinto, and now the Senators will control it. But as far as Jacob Chychrun, he sat on the bench. I have not seen him on the ice since the injury, so I'm not sure if he is going to come back in this game. We will see. Actually, no, as soon as I mentioned, he is back on the ice right now. So Chychrun might be dealing with something, but he's still playing. Senators now come into the zone, but they are offsides. Oh, they would have had a little bit of a 2-on-1 there. if they had gotten that. Tim Stutzla, man, has been definitely on the definitely has been on the short end of opportunities tonight. He has not been able to cash in on the chances that he's had tonight. He's going to be kicking himself. As we just saw a replay of the Patrick Kane shot in the slot. That was a golden opportunity. Perfect timing, too, to try to tie it up late in this third period, get your first goal as a Ranger. Been crazy. This would be a cool playoff series. It'd be interesting. It would be an interesting matchup between these two teams. Don't know what to make of it. I know a lot of people are looking at what could very well be a Hudson River rivalry in round one, Devils-Rangers, potentially in the first round of the playoffs this year. I think that would be really exciting considering what both of these two teams have done to their teams and where they are and how they play. I think it would create a lot of excitement. Feed in front there to Kreider, just couldn't get enough. But a good feed from Zibanejad. 3:22 and ticking to go in this third. Now gets it over. Braden Schneider just out of his reach. Keeps it in the zone, though. Schneider wraps it around the boards. Dylan Gambrell gets it for Ottawa and just backhands it out of the zone. Zibanejad now over to Schneider, and the Rangers will slow it up. Third period shots, 10-6 right now in favor of Ottawa. Jimmy Vesey backhands it into the zone. Now Filipino with the puck. Hedl whiffs on the pass, then takes a slow shot that deflects wide of the net. 250, and that puck actually deflects up and out of play. So we'll get a stop here with 2:51 to go in this third period. Still 4-3 Ottawa, man. The clock is ticking. And you got to wonder when Gallant may decide to call his timeout and when he may pull Yaroslav Halak to try to get the extra skater if he needs to, still down by a goal. As I think we are going to get that timeout as soon as I say that. So I think we are going to get that timeout, and I believe it's from the Rangers. So now Gallant and his staff are going to talk it over with their team. This is going to be something here. This is going to be a crazy finish. This has been a great game. Again, this was the Patrick Kane Rangers debut. Obviously, he hasn't gotten himself any points or goals yet, although he just got close a second ago. Jacob Chychrun making his Senators debut tonight. He's had a pretty solid game defensively. But the story of the night really has been Derek Brassard, former Ranger, with playing in his 1,000th career game tonight with 2 goals. And Claude Giroux with a goal and an assist, the former Flyer. He's given the Rangers nightmares for years. He currently has the go-ahead goal that made it 4-3. What's going on, Justin? He says hello from Amsterdam, Netherlands. So we got a Dutch person in the chat. That's awesome, Justin. Thank you for hanging out with us, man. Don't forget to leave a like on the stream while you're here. So the Rangers have officially pulled Halak with 2:51 to go. The Rangers got their big guns out there. Kreider, Zibanejad, Tarasenko, Panarin, Kane, and Fox. So if they don't get it done now, as the faceoff is won by Ottawa, Giroux fires at the empty net, and he just misses. But the Senators keep it in, and they're able to get a tap-in goal as Tim Stutzla, who's been getting screwed all night long, he's able to finally get on the score sheet. Tkachuk just fed it to him. He was wide open, and the Senators, just 9 seconds after the Rangers pulled Halak, score, and they get the 2-goal lead. Officially, it's now 5-3 Ottawa. So good job by Tkachuk to hustle to get there first to negate the icing and then feed it to a wide-open Stutzla, and that makes it 5-3. But thank you again, Justin, for hanging out with us from the Netherlands, man. Don't forget to smash the like button while you're here and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new live watch-alongs that we do here on the channel. Damn, pulled the goalie with 3 minutes. Gonna try to make something happen. Justin says the final score is gonna be 5-3. All right, so we'll see if you're right. We'll see if that ends up being the score. I don't think the Rangers have pulled Halak again. So we got 2:20 and ticking to go here in this one. But Tim Stutzla just got the Senators another goal. An empty netter, his 29th of the year at the 17-18 mark. Brady Tkachuk and Claude Giroux with assists. So Claude Giroux, a goal and 2 assists tonight here in this one. And I got to be honest with you guys. If the Rangers pull Halak again, I think the Senators got to get Derek Brassard on the ice because he'll have a chance for a hat trick against his former team. And I think that would be the icing on the cake for the Senators tonight. Justin just gave me some Dutch in the chat. So he said, the final score is EB 5-3. Okay, so there you go. I spoke a tiny bit of Dutch just now. So Halak has been pulled again with 2 minutes to go in this one. I'm trying to see if Derek Brassard is on the ice. He is not. And now an opportunity. Panarin tries to feed it in front. That slow shot just goes wide from Zibanejad. Senators trying to get it out. Shane Pinto backhands it, tries to get out of the zone. He cannot. Rangers trying to control again. Patrick Kane with the puck. Kane, right faceoff dot. Now behind the net is Tarasenko. Tries to feed it in front to Zibanejad. Can't get it. Top of the point to Fox. Now to Panarin. Panarin holds. Takes a wrist shot. That one gets blocked. Now gets it over, and that's a good stick deflection there by Drake Batherson, but he's not going to get to it in time. 1:28 and ticking to go in this third. Senators holding on to this 5-3 lead. Can the Rangers pull off a miracle here in the last 80 seconds? Now Brady Tkachuk almost could control it. Patrick Kane trying to get it now. Now Tkachuk tries to get out of the zone. He cannot. Gets it back. That pass gets blocked. Panarin throws it at the net. It gets deflected high and wide. Senators trying to get out. That bounces off the boards. That puck bounces around. Tkachuk trying to get it, but it's going to be a delayed offsides. Senators now trying to get it. 55 seconds to go here in this one. Kreider now with the puck. He tries to dump it in. Kane tries to keep it in. He cannot. And we get an offsides here against the Rangers with 47.6 to go. So time is very much running out on the Rangers, and if they do not score, obviously they're going to lose, but they'll end up losing after giving up 3 unanswered goals. We'll see again on the replay. I think Nick Holden got his skate blade on that shot from Zibanejad and blocked it. Justin is a second grade teacher in Dutch school. That's very cool. That's very cool. What do you think of the Jonathan Quick trade to Vegas? It's just nothing but chaos, because if Jonathan Quick is able to help Vegas knock the Kings out of the playoffs, that's about poetic justice as it can be. 35 seconds to go in this one. Rangers desperately need 2 goals to tie this one up. Derek Brassard gets it over. Can he get to it? He cannot. I freaking want this to happen for the memes. Jacob Trouba now with the puck with 20 seconds to go in this one. One last chance here. The Rangers are not going to have enough time to score 2 goals. They're just not going to. Now the puck comes out. Jacob Chicker trying to get it out. He cannot. Drop pass. Trocheck. Brassard throws it at the empty net, and he just missed what would have been a 3rd goal for him tonight. And an icing here against the Senators. Brassard smiling and laughing. He cannot believe that he almost got a hat trick against his former team in his 1,000th game in the NHL. That would have been something. 5.7 to go. One last face-off here to the right of Cam Talbot. Face-off won by the Rangers off the draw. 3 seconds, 2-1, and that will do it. So the Senators come into Madison Square Garden and spoil the big celebration and party of Patrick Kane making his debut as a Ranger. Kane comes up with no points at all, and the Senators with 3 unanswered goals in the third, 2 coming from former Ranger Derek Brassard, and win this one 5-3 in regulation. So a big win. That makes it now 11 wins in 15 games for the Senators of late. Cam Talbot, another former Ranger, with a 29 save performance, gets the win. So a lot of former Rangers getting themselves some much needed good stuff all around. So that was a really good game, entertaining game. And the big news again with obviously Patrick Kane making his debut, didn't do very much of anything. Jacob Chychrun gets to celebrate with his teammates after, playing in his first game as a Senator. There you go. When I think of Dutch sports, I think of soccer. Fair enough. What do you think about Voracek going to Arizona? I'm not sure who you are for. Oh, Voracek. Well, he's out for the year, so that's just Arizona trying to get more draft picks. That's really what they're doing. I'd love to see that happen if they do play the Kings in the playoffs. Bad loss for the Rangers in Kane's debut. That is bad also because now, if you look at it from the standings perspective, the New Jersey Devils will have a chance tomorrow, if they could get the win against Vegas, to move up 8 points ahead of the Rangers for second place. So, and, you got to be worried about a team like, the Islanders or even Pittsburgh trying to slowly claw their way back into the standings. Only 4 shots for Kane. He had that one good shot in the slot, but couldn't cash in. Islanders don't gain any ground, and for the Devils, this game was key for them, I will say. If you're a Devils fan, you got to be happy the Rangers did not get any points tonight. Nashville ended up beating the Panthers 2-1. Bruins exploded in the third period and blew out the Sabres in Boston 7-1. Angus says, thank you, Neil. Good seeing you. It was fun. Rock on. Angus, thank you so much for hanging out with us, man. Thank you for welcoming me back. I'm really happy that I got to come back and do a live watch-along. Bruins 7, Sabres 1 final. Thank you, Justin. Danelle says, Coyotes always getting players that has never played for them. If you created a list of all the guys that they've acquired, at least their contracts, it's an all-star team. Kraken and Red Wings going to overtime, tied at 4. Frosty jumps in the chat. What's going on, man? He says, let's go Rangers. We're winning the cup this year. Potentially, but you did not end up winning tonight, man. As again, the Ottawa Senators come into Madison Square Garden and beat the New York Rangers in Patrick Kane's debut by the final score of 5-3. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for me tonight for this live watch along. I can't thank you guys enough for all the support you guys have given me tonight. All the new followers, all the new, all the likes and everything, and talking with you guys. Really do appreciate it. I'm so happy to be back and doing these live watch-alongs. We're going to do a lot more as we go along here the rest of the season and into the playoffs. So don't forget to like and subscribe to the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel, and also punch that notification bell so you don't miss any new live watch-alongs that we do right here on the Hockey Podcast Network. Don't forget to sign up with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of THPN, using our promo code THPN when you sign up. So make sure you get in on that. Follow the Hockey Podcast Network on all social media platforms at HockeyPodNet. Follow my podcast, the Devil's State of Mind podcast, which covers the New Jersey Devils. New episodes every Monday and Thursday, wherever you listen to podcasts. You can follow us on Twitter at Devil's State, Instagram at Devil's State of Mind, and also you can follow us on Facebook as well, if you so please. So make sure you go follow all of those. Justin says right now the Kraken are on the power play, so we'll see if they can score there. Andrew 8 says, see you, Neil, rock on. One fight in the Kraken and Red Wings game. Nice. Greg King says, I knew it would be 5-3 Ottawa, so there we go. RJ says next Rangers game will be Saturday in Boston, 1 p.m. start against the Bruins. So going back to, we only had 3 people give me a score prediction at the beginning of the game. And the closest one is my man, Sean Butcher. He went 5-2 Rangers, ended up being 5-3 Senators. So nobody got the team right, and Sean was the closest to getting the score right. So thank you guys for all that. So once again, thank you all for hanging out with us tonight, and we will see you in the next live watch along. Once again, the final score from Madison Square Garden. The New York Rangers have their Patrick Kane debut spoiled by former Rangers and the Ottawa Senators, as the Senators beat the Rangers by the final score of 5-3. Everyone continue to be the awesome people that you are. And as I always say at the end of every live watch along, make sure to rock on.